Hi guys, and welcome back to another mega tutorial. This one is going to be truly one of the biggest builds I've actually done. It's going to be one of the biggest tutorials and longest tutorials that I've ever done, I think. So this is the HMS Ark Royal or Invincible-Class aircraft carrier. Compared to kind of other aircraft carriers, and especially the new Royal Navy aircraft carrier, I guess you could kind of count this one as a light kind of aircraft carrier. So it's 215 blocks long and 60 high, and it's also 44 blocks wide in total. So it is quite a big ship. So like most of my tutorials, this is going to be a layer by layer tutorial as soon as it starts loading. There is a lot of blocks going to be placed in this one. It is big. I'm going to basically be doing the shell of the actual ship itself. I still will do all these side parts here, and also the steps going up. And I'll just go inside quickly. I'll just put it onto light. So if you go inside here, I also will be doing these lifts themselves. I will do one of them which is in the up position, and I'll do one which is completely down or halfway, but you guys will be able to figure that out quite easily. But I will go through this side detail. I won't do this railing part going across the top here. You guys will be able to figure that out, but the rest of it I will pretty much cover these bits that go up to, say, these bits here. These will all be covered in the tutorial itself. So let's just continue flying over. So if you do use this build on a tutorial, or not a tutorial, if you do use this build on your world or your server, please do credit me for the design. It's taken me ages to build this. It's taken me even longer to actually do the tutorial itself. Generally speaking, this will probably take me around 6 times the amount of the tutorial length itself, so it is going to take me a hell of a long time. As I usually have at least 3 times the amount of video that you guys get, and of course editing that through is always does take a long time. So please do credit me for the design, as I have spent a long time doing this this tutorial and breaking it up easily for you guys to enjoy. So also, if you do upload this as an adventure map, for example, please do obviously credit me for the design, but send it to me as well, because I do want to try it out. If you do any sort of thing with my builds that are adventure maps, I will like 100% do it and send people over there so that it will actually boost you guys up as well. There's not going to be a type, a part 2 to this at all. The interior is just too big. There's no way I can even get close to it. So there won't even be a slight bit of an interior design at all, except for these kind of ramps and things like that, and just the lifts, which isn't really that much at all. There are also the tutorials, small tutorials, for example, for the Harrier, and there's also, I've put a Sea King and a couple of helicopters. All my tutorials for those are already up, so all the stuff that you need to actually put on the deck is already up, so you should be able to, do that pretty easily. So this flight deck itself, as you can see, this is without anything on it. It's quite big, especially at the back, as you can see here, and then we've just got the outline of the body. So it's going to take quite a while to go through this one, so make sure that you have regular breaks. There is going to be 2 different ways of doing this front part. I actually saw on a model that someone had made that they had done it this way. I have seen other ones where it's completely straight over, but I decided to kind of make it a bit different and give it a bit more of this kind of layered feel. So yeah, I'll teach you how to do, or I'll show you how to do both of those ways, so that you can kind of choose which one you want. It's either the lazy way, where you literally just pave over all this crap, or if you actually put in these bits here where you've got this missile launcher and things like that. So let's get started on this tutorial. Okay, so for you guys that are building this one underwater, the place that I put 1 layer of red showing and 1 layer of black, which makes this actually 7 blocks underwater. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that's where it's going to be. That's where your water level is going to be. So if you are building underwater, make sure that you are 7 blocks under, if you want it exactly the same as mine. So let's get started. Okay, so for layer number 1, this one's going to be absolutely massive. All I'm going to do is do one side. I'm just going to do the outline. I'm not going to fill it in, but I'll show you what I mean. So there's 3 going across the front, so it's got a very flat front. Then you've got 1, 1, and then a 2. So what you guys will do is, after you've done it on one side, you'll do it on the other, so you'll be doing 1, 1, and then 2. And then when you get to near the, when I actually kind of tell you to, you can just fill this one in solid. Or you can do it layer by layer. I just prefer to do it right at the end, because I can use something like MC Edit or World Edit and actually do it that way. So you got 1, 1, 2, then you got 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and another 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that, then a 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you've got a very, very long layer of 115. So counting that block, you get 1, 2, 6. And I take that all the way back to 115. And then once you've done that really long layer of 115, if you do have World Edit, I've just used mine to actually check how many blocks just by putting my first position there and then my second here. If you don't, you're going to just have to count them out manually. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have 2 going in like this, and then another 2. Then you've got 3 coming this way, 1, 2, 3. And you got 3, 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Now you got 1, 1. Now you've got 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And now you got 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So then do that on the other side, and I'll catch you guys back, and I'll show you where to cut out, or not cut out, show you where to place down your rudders and the kind of basis for your propellers themselves. Okay, so once you've done the outline of the ship on both sides, you should have this. Hopefully it does line up perfectly right. If it doesn't, just re-watch, you know, the kind of layout for number 1. And then what we're going to do to set out these rudders themselves, I'm going to use glass blocks to count out. So from this back one here, you're going to leave these 2. So go to the third one like this. And you're going to count back 7. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you're going to place down 1 block of red wool. So you've got this 7 block gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in between these parts. This goes forwards and it's a total length of 3. Then what you've got is you've got a 5 block gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is where 2 propellers are going to go. I use gold for these ones, so you got just a piece of gold on each side of those, and then you've got 3 blocks again, I think. Yep, you've got another 3 blocks, and now what you're going to have is just 3 going across like this. So this is actually a connecting part that will basically just come over the top and actually hold it itself, but we'll just put down these basic 3 now, and we'll keep and build them up as we do it. So I'll just do the other side as well. So you've got 2 blocks here, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Place down your red wall, this comes forward by 2, then you've got a 5 block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Either side of this you have your gold block, which is your propellers. Then 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3, and then you've got this kind of holding bit, just like that. Now what you need to do, just to finish off layer number 1, is start filling in the huge section. So I'm obviously not going to do this with you guys because it will take me forever. So I'll catch you guys for number 2. Okay, so now we're on to layer number 2. Hopefully you didn't have any problems filling that in. I know it does take quite a while. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to the front, and these 3 are just going to come out like this. Then what you're going to do is you're going to basically have 3 diagonal ones like this, but you're going to join them together like that. So it's going to add an extra block. So you've got 5 in total, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. All you're now going to do is you're just going to outline this layer. And this goes pretty much all the way back like this, and it'll go down the long layer as well. So go all the way down to the long layer. It's going to take quite a while to go all the way down here. It's even taken a while for me to actually fly down here. So then you'll get to here, so you'll still be kind of coming out like this on all of these. Then what you're going to have is going to have 1 like that, and then you're going to have another 1 here. Then what you're going to do is grab your iron block. And with your iron block, just connect it onto the back here. And this is going to keep on going all the way here. It's quite a long prop. And it just reaches this point here where you've got gold block in the middle. And it goes forwards like this. And then we're just going to finish off the props like this. There. And before I forget, build up these bits like this. Just put in 1 on each side. Then this back rudder here is actually a 4. So it goes forwards towards the prop by 1. And now what you're going to have behind this is you're going to have 3 of them touching here and another 1 there. So you've got this 3x2 box like that. And then all you're going to do is just outline again, outlining all of this part. Not on there, around here. All the way to the end. on this really thin part, and all you're going to do is just have 2 blocks coming off the end like that. Do it on the other side and you're done with layer number 2. Okay, so we're on to layer number 3. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to the front, and all you're going to do is come across with these 3, and you're just going to outline the ship itself now. So this kind of, especially the front part, is really easy. All you're doing is just coming out diagonally by 1 block. Again, this is like my simple, my kind of earlier ship design, so it's very simple, which is good for you guys, but the shape isn't kind of as nice as it was. So you need to bring this really long one down all the way. It does go down quite far, so keep on bringing that one down. Okay, and then you're going to bring this all the way back down to here. So this will continue down like this. So this will be connecting in, of course, but I'm just going to be lazy and do it in a second. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have a 1, and then a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to have a 1, and then a 2. So those 2 are straight on top, and you've got a 1. Now you've got a 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So it should be right next to these, the propellers and everything like that. Then we're going to have is a 1, and a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, like that. Then 1, 1, and at the end, if I can get it there, at the end you're just going to have a 3 coming across like this. So then do that on the other side and I'll show you what to do. Okay, so once you've got that on both sides, all you can do is you're just going to cover up these gaps like this. So you're just going to come in and just cover up all of these bits, putting all your blocks just over the top, just like that, and then do that all the way around. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come to the rudders and the propellers. All you're going to do on this part is just come across the top with 3. And then back here, you're going to do a 4 on top of this, and then the back 3 like this. Got them on the side, and there's 1 extra on the back as well. So you got this 4 here, like this. You got a 3, and a 3, and then a 1. So fill that in, and do the same on the other side for the front if you haven't already, and we'll get on to the next layer. Okay, so we're now on to layer number 4. So all you're going to do again is you're just going to outline exactly the same as we've been doing kind of on the last level. Just outline all of this front part. Keep on bringing it back, just like this. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. And then when you've got this long run, what you're going to do, I'm not going to bring it all the way back for the time being, I'm going to just wait a second. So you're going to bring this all the way back to here. So you're going to have like this will be all the way joined right to the back. What you're now going to do is you're going to add 23 blocks. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Just like that. And then you've got a 1. And then you're going to come in again. And now you've got 24. So counting this block that you've got here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Just like that. And then you've got a 1, and then there will be 17 coming across the back. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So I'm just going to do the same on the other side, and then I'll show you if it makes... I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, then once you've got that kind of outline on the kind of outside of it, it should all line up, and you should be able to just line up with this piece here. All you're going to do is you're just going to pull in these blocks to cover up these parts like this. So it's pretty easy. All you're going to do is just cover them up. And then after you've done that, we'll get on to the next layer. Also on this piece, before I forget actually, just cut. All I did is I went straight over it. You could, if you wanted to, you know, leave these bits like that, but I thought it was just easier just to cover up all of those pieces. So do that, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so we're on to layer number 5. So come to the front, and again you're just going to outline these 2 sections. So you've got the 3 and then you've got the 2. Then what you're going to do is just going to come out diagonally with 2 of these ones, and you're just going to add on an extra block. And then all it's going to do now is just outline. So you're just going to outline all of this bit. And again, when you get to the long run, there is going to be a slight difference. So once you get to, I think it's this one here. Nope, not that one there. So once you've done this long run and you brought this one all the way back down here, I'll just fly all the way down here, and it really is starting to turn into an absolutely crazy long run. So we get to here. So you're going to be outlining all of this part, this new bit that you've made, and then bring it in line with this one. What you're going to do is you're going to add an extra block, you're going to tuck in, then add a block, then tuck in. So all you're going to do is basically just squiggling around it instead. And then what you're going to do is you're going to bring this one all the way back to here. Now what you're going to do is you're going to add 2 blocks, and then you're going to have a 1 like this, and then this one here is going to go across the back. This is just extending the back part of the ship itself a little bit. So I'll if you do that on the actually I'll just tell you what to do here. It's really easy. All you have to do to fill it is just fill in those gaps like we did before, and you're done with that layer. Okay, so we're now on to layer number 6. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come forwards again, and we're just going to outline exactly the same as what we've been doing before. Now, while you're actually doing this layer, the front part going back onto the long run is actually built up by 2 high. So what you can do is you can actually do that now, and it's exactly the same. It's very, very simple design. So you can build these up by 2 high. So this will be layers 6 and 7, in fact. So keep on bringing this back, build it up to 2 high, of course. We'll get down to the long run now, and then once you kind of built this bit up, still going down here, what you're going to do on this bit here is you're just going to wrap this one around. So again, like we did before, we've kind of got these bits like that, and all we're going to do is just add on a couple extra blocks so it actually wraps in, and then bring this one all the way back, just like this. And then when you're at the back, what you're going to do is just going to wrap around again, all the way across the back, like this. So it's pretty simple, this layer and also the next. So you're going to have that. So what you can do is if you build it up to a height of 2, where you've got this long run coming down here, if you build up to a height of 2, right to the last bit on here, because it does change just a little bit around the back. So do that on both sides, build this part and all towards the front up to a layer of 2, and we'll go onto the back. So what you're going to do is you're just going to have this one coming over here, and then this one is going to outline like this. So bring this one all the way over here. Now across the back, this is going to go straight across the back. And what it's going to do... Okay, so I just made a mistake on the last layer, so I'm just going to pull this layer number 7 back. So if you've done the same as me and you've got this kind of wrap around, it's actually just going to have an extra block on each of these like this. So it goes out 1 more block, like that. So you should have this kind of bit underneath. And then all you're going to do for finishing up layer number 7 is bring this across here. And then this bit comes across the back and it just fills in this gap here. So the back's really starting to kind of like straighten out, I guess. So I'll go over. So do that on the other side and I'll get back to you guys for the next layer. Okay, so for layer number 8, so we're now on to the last red layer. So what you're going to do is you're going to outline exactly the same as we've been doing before. This ship design itself is super, super easy. It's very, very simple, as it was one of my earlier ships. So what you're going to do is just keep on outlining all of this bit, and then go all the way down this long run again. And there's only one tiny, tiny difference on this one, and that's right at the back. So keep on going, outlining this layer. It's getting really long now. So there we go. So you pretty much just brought all of these bits back to here, and then you're still going to outline this bit as well. Bring this one all the way back. And the only difference is this back part is going to be outlined as well. So you have that brought across here. All you're going to do is just going to add 1 block to each of these. There's going to be 1 block in behind. And then for the next layer, what you're going to actually do, as it's exactly the same, what you're going to do is you're just going to lay your black wool directly on top of this layer. So do this whole red layer and then do the black layer, and you're done with 8 and 9 at the same time. So it's really easy. And then we're on to either your light grey wool, or we're on to iron blocks if you're using Sphax, and then you'll be using connect textures. It's really up to you which one you want to use. And then all we're going to be doing is this quite simple bit. So we've just got a couple of these layers, and we've got a really straight layer, which will be really easy to tell you guys how to do it. So let's get on to it. Okay, so we're finally on to either light grey wool or iron blocks. I use iron blocks in my build. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to the front. These three are going to come out. So you've got a 3, and then you've got a 1, then a 2. So one of these is on top of here, then it goes out like this. This bit can be a bit tricky. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you've got 6 sets of 1. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's just going diagonally like that. Then you've got a 3. So you're going to go here, 1, 2, and 3. And then this gap that you've got here, all you're going to do is just fill in. It's just easier to say the outline part. Then what you're going to have is you're going to have 2 sets of 4. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it just fills in that gap just like normal outlining does. Then here you got 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this one is just outlining this bit, and then it goes over the top of these. Now all you're going to do is this long run is you're just going to set iron blocks directly on top. Bring this all the way down as usual. Just bring it all the way on top of this black wool. And there's just one extra block to add at the end, which I'll just show you now. So you're going to keep on bringing this here. This next layer as well is directly on top. So you're going to just bring this on top of here. Then when you get to the back, you're going to bring all these back here. And all you're going to do is, when you've got these 2 sets going across the back and also on the corner, all you're going to do is just add an extra block in here. So it just makes it more square. So do that on the other side and we'll get on to the next layer. Okay, so layers number 11 and 12 are pretty much the same. All you're going to do is just going to outline like this. Just going directly kind of out of the last layer. Like that. And then the entire front part, all you're going to do is just build this up to a layer of 2. You're going to outline the entire part of the ship and build up to a layer of 2. There is a, like usual, there is a slight difference right at the back. So I'm just going to fly it all the way down here now. Just notice I missed a block. There we go. Right, so we're going to go all the way down here. It's starting to get quite long now. So once you've brought back these kind of outline blocks, what you're going to do around the back is you're going to just go past one, and it's going to be like a square back. This part I'm not really happy with, but it is an older ship, so I've just kind of left it in. It's easier to do it this way than actually double up. So that's what you're going to have. You're going to have this kind of square outline part of it like that. And then what you're going to do is when you've built it up to a layer of 2, so this is going to be a layer of 2. The only extra bit for layer number 12 is exactly the same, just laying on top, and then all at the back you're going to do is just extend by 1 block and bring this across like this. So it's pretty easy. It's a really simple design. So it's just going to come across like that. So do that on both sides. Of course it'll be built up to a layer of 2, and I'll get back to you for the kind of biggest layer here. Okay, so we're now on to layer number 13. So what we're actually going to do is I'm going to go across this layer here. We're currently on this, this higher layer, the bits where I've got really long straight parts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go around this layer now. I'll tell you which ones you can build up to a total height of 10, so that you have most of the actual hull going up from the hangar deck to the actual flight deck itself. So let's do it. Okay, so come to the front and you're just going to have 3 blocks. Then you're going to have a 1, then a 2. Most of this part is outlining, but there is a bit different, so I have to write it down kind of in that way. So now I've got a 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 1, 1. So you've got 6 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just like that. 2 sets of 2, so you got 2. Then you got 2, so that one's directly on top, but that one's coming over. Now you've got a 1 just in this gap here, and now what you're going to do is you're just going to outline the ship itself, just like this. So just like we did before, we're going to go all the way to the back where there is a slight difference. Okay, so once you get to the back, you'll be outlining all of these parts like this. What you're going to do is you're going to be 1 block short of the end. So instead of joining it up and making it square, you're just going to have it like this. So this one's just going straight on the top of the last layer, like that. So build up that basic layer, and I'll tell you which ones you can build up kind of straight up. Okay, so once you've actually built this kind of layer number 13 that I just told you to. What you can do if you wanted to, this is actually where I put in my hangar deck itself, so just on this layer. So you can actually bring, I use grey wool for this part, you can bring this entire layer and fill in the entire section. I'm going to do that in a bit because it does take forever to actually fill in this section like this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to build up the walls. So if you come to where we've got this set of 4 here, counting this block you're going to go up by 10. So you've got 10 in total, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So this is just going to be solid for the time being. We're going to cut out all these holes in the actual hull itself because they're kind of different on both sides, so it's more of minor detail. So then this next one again is going to be built up to a total height of 10, like this, and you're going to continue this all the way down, and the only one that you're going to do is the long run, I think it is. So you're going to bring this, build all these bits up to a height of 10, and you're going to bring it right to here for the time being. So we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So then build it up to there, and then there's different bits at the back that we're going to kind of do in a second, and all these railings and things like that that'll be done later on in the tutorial. So build those bits up to a layer of 10, fill in this hangar deck, and we'll get on to the next section. Okay, so once you've built all of those parts, now what we're going to do is we're just going to build up the front and get this finished off, and then we're going to build up the back and get that finished off, and then we're going to start doing this flight deck itself. I think we're just going to fill it in really blankly. We won't work on the actual all the towers and things like that and the islands and those kind of things yet. What we'll do is we'll do the front, do the back, do the basic deck layout, and then we're going to actually cut out all these side details because they're not too hard at all. So let's get to it. Okay, so this one's really easy. All you're going to do for the next layer is just lay exactly the same on top as you did the last layer. So it's super duper easy. So do that and we'll get to the next bit. Okay, so for the next layer we're going to come forward, so I'm going to do a 3 across the front again. Then you're going to have 1, then a 2, like this. Now you're going to have 5 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 like that. Then they're going to have a 2 here. So it's going to be 1 coming out here and then 1 back here. You're going to have a 2, another 2, and a 1, just like that. Build it on the other side and we'll get on to the next bit. And then for the next layer, all you're going to do is you're just going to build this up again, just laying straight on top. There is only going to be 1 block difference. So you're going to bring it all the way here, and then where you've got, right at the end piece here, where you've got this kind of 1, you're going to put the 1 on there, that'll become a 2, and then you're going to have your 1 here instead. So it's just curving in, so you've, instead of these being, if you're just going to lay them straight on top like that, all you can do is take out this block and add 1 there. And that's it, so we'll get on to the next bit. And then for the next layer, what we're going to do is you're going to come forwards and you're going to have 3 across the front yet again. Then you're going to have a 1, and a 2, then you're going to have 5 ones, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just like that. Then you're going to have a 3 here, 1, 2, 3, and a 2, and a 1, and then a 2, like that. So do the same on the other side, and we'll get on to the next bit. And then this layer is directly on top, so you're just going to build that one up. 1 extra layer, and we'll get on to the next bit. Okay, so for the next layer, what you're going to do is come forwards again, and you're going to have these 3 coming across the front. And you're going to have a 1, then a 2. Then you have 4 sets of 1 this time, so you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you got a 2 here, 3 here, and these ones just go straight on top of the last layer, like that. Then all you're going to do for the next layer is, again, you're just going to set these directly on top, like this. So it's a really simple layer, just like that, and we'll get on to the next bit. And then the next layer, what you're going to do is you're going to come forwards, you're going to have 3 like this, 1, 2, and 3, then a 1, and then you have a 2 in here like this. Then you're just going to have 2 sets of 1 this time. Then you have a 2, and then a 1 just directly on top of this one, and a 2, then a 3, a 2, then 1, and 2. Just like that. So most of it's setting right on top, so do that on the other side. And then we've just got these last 2 bits for the front part. And then across the front, what you're going to do is you're going to come straight on top of these ones. And you're going to add a block on each side, so it makes it 5 in total. So you got this bit right on top of the last layer. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have a 2 like here. And you're going to have 3 sets of 1, so you get 1, 2, and 3 like that. And then 2, then a 1, then a 2. And then you're going to have 3, 2, and then this one is a 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. So do the same on the other side, and we've got 1 layer left on the front. And now we're just going to do this slight raised bit right at the front. So what you're going to do is you're going to come forwards, right to the front, you're going to come forwards and do 5 going across the front, just like that. Now you're going to have 5 sets of 1, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So most of them just lay straight on top. And now you're going to have 2, 1, 2, and a 3. And that's all you have to do for the front, so do that on the other side. Okay, and there's a slight difference just on the right side of the ship, so there's the front, so it's this side only. So you've got this 8 here, so you've got the really long stretch and then you've got this 8, so what you're going to do is you're going to take out this 8 like this. What you're going to do is just extend it, extend that long run just on this layer, and connect it in on the back, like that. So this is a slight extension. I couldn't get it right because this was one of my earlier ships, the actual curve isn't quite right, but this extension is supposed to go out a little bit more, but I just couldn't get it to look right. So let's get on to the next bit. Okay, and then we're going to move on to the back. So what you can do is you're just going to bring these ones back from across here. And then when you get to the back, you're going to add 2 blocks. Just like that. So you've got a 2 block extra, so this will just bring this back part out 1 more block again. Just like this, and bring it all the way around, and we'll get on to the next bit. And now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the back. So what you need to do is just lay these ones straight on top of the last layer. The back part's pretty easy. All we have to do is then cut out all the different bits, which makes it quite different. So when you've got it in line with this part, you're going to go over by 1 block. Now across the back, you're just going to come your 1 block over, so you're just outlining the back part. And then all you need to do is build this entire back section up right to the top, just like that. So it's just following the shape that we're just going to be putting down on the bottom. So build that all the way up to the same height as this one, and we'll go to the next part. And then once you've done that, we're just going to start editing this to just make it correct. So what you're going to do is you're just going to add, on this block here, you're going to add 14. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then you can get rid of this inside bit. It's just extending that longer run, as it does extend a little bit for the actual flight deck itself. And it's exactly the same on the other side. It is actually symmetrical on this one. So just going to add 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Get rid of this bit. And now what you're going to do is you're going to fill in the actual flight deck itself. Like I said before, we're going to cut out all these details in a second. We're just going to get the kind of the basic ship shape done, which after we've got this flight deck in, we're actually going to move on to these details underneath and cutting out all these bits and adding a couple. So fill this in and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so now once you've filled that in, what you need to do is on the front, you just need to add these 2 in as well. I almost forgot about these bits, so those are just those 2. And what we're going to now do is we're just going to cut into the deck, the actual flight deck itself, to create this kind of bit down here. If you do want the other version of, I've seen the Invincible-Class that don't have this kind of lowered bit. I just saw this on a model and it looked really, really cool, and added a bit more depth to the actual build itself, as well as having the walkway down here and this whole bit here. Then you don't have to cut this through at all. If you want to actually have this bit and have this kind of missile system, as well as of course the Phalanx Gun as well, then it's up to you. I'm pretty sure that one's on both of them, and I'm sure this one is as well. So if you want it this way, then follow this bit. If not, just wait until we get onto the guns and the gun placements, because it'll be exactly the same on both. So let's do it. So what you're going to do is behind this part, just cut out just behind this here, just like this. Oh, not there. And what you're going to do is, we just cut out a couple of these pieces actually. You're just going to join these 2 bits where you got this kind of raised bit. This is where your wall goes all the way across. So bring this across like this, just into there like that. And then we're going to cut out the bottom part as well, the other side, and we'll get onto it. And then what we're going to do is, this kind of extension we put in earlier, what we're going to do is extend this to a total kind of length of 14. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'm just going to have this in here. You can, if you want to now, cut out this part as well. Just here. And then once you've kind of cut out this section, if you wanted to, or you can do it later, what you can do is you can bring this down to a total kind of height of 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just bring this wall all the way right to the edge of the ship. And then once you've done that, what you can do is you can just add 8 blocks here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is only going to be a height of 3, so it's actually going to be 1 shorter. And you can also just kind of cut out some of this as well. Probably all the way from here to over here. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to cut out this and I'll get back to you. And then from this bottom bit here, you're going to go this way, and it's going to be 12 in total, counting the block that you put here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then again, you can make this a total height of 3. Just like that, and maybe take this bit back as well. Just like that. And then from here, what you're going to do is you're just going to go diagonally and come forwards by 2. Then bring this bit right back into the wall itself, and then build that up to a total height of 3 as well. So you've just got this, like that, and then this wall here you can make 4, go kind of height of 4, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill that in all the way back there. And then once you've done that, what you can do is you can fill in the floor for this section. So where you've got this wall here, all you're going to do is come underneath by an extra block. So you've got those 4 blocks showing, so there isn't a block behind it at all. This gives you a 4 blocks to work with, so if you wanted to put in a ceiling with lights in it, you can do that as well. And it also gives you, I think on this part here, if we bring this through, you've got a height of 3, which isn't too bad, because most of this is actually in the hangar deck, so you've got 4 blocks down there and then 3. So if you fill in this kind of floor part here, I'll tell you what to do next. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to build this ramp itself, so it's a pretty simple design. So you're going to go onto the left side of the ship, and where you've got the longest run, what you can do is you're just going to go on top of these, on top of just 2 of them, you're going to go 5 in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to go up and do 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up, then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up, then 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there should be 4 sets of 5 going up diagonally, just creating this kind of gentle slope. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come up kind of diagonally, and you're going to go 11 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then you're just going to copy the same thing you've done on the other side. This time just going the other way, so going kind of downwards instead. Just like that. So that's building the basic frame for the actual jump itself. You can also grab your iron bars now, and just on the top 2 parts, I've just put iron bars around these. Just one in that gap there, and going across the back, and one on that one, just like that. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to actually do the kind of markings and all that kind of stuff on the ramp itself. So just on the bottom, I'm using quartz slabs for this. If you're on the Xbox and you don't have them yet, use stone slabs for the time being and then switch them out later. So you're just going to bring this across right in the middle of these bits, like that. And then with grey wool, just on the kind of inside part of the ship, you're just going to have 2 pieces of grey wool. This will just go all the way up, and then what you're going to have, I used cobblestone slab for the kind of colouring because it's the closest, and this just follows its way up like this. So the slabs are always on the first kind of bit in here, and it just goes all the way to the top like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have a white kind of stripe going up, so just put them on the outside of these blocks like this. And then again, if you've got quartz slabs, you'll be using quartz slabs. If not, use stone slabs, it'll look fine. So that gives you your white stripe. Then you have 3 black, just like this. And for the black slab part, I use never brick slabs because generally they're quite dark in most texture packs. So it depends on what you're using. So this is just going to be 3 wide. This is actually the middle of the the runway stripe that goes all the way down to the bottom of the ship. Let's bring this in, put in your slabs as well. Just like that, and then on the other side you have your white stripe. And then your slabs as well. And then the last 4 are going to be grey. Now the actual kind of middle stripe isn't perfectly in the middle on this. You could, if you want to, shift it over, but the problem is the reason I moved it over by that 1 block and put it like off center in this part is because of the numbering that it's got on the actual deck plans. As you can see, they're quite clear there. But if you move this kind of whole strip over by 1, this bit starts to get blurred and you can't really tell what numbers they are. It's not as clear anymore. So it's up to you if you wanted to, you know, move it over and make it perfectly in the middle, but kind of from a distance it doesn't look bad at all, so it's really up to you if you want to go with that way or not. So then again, all you need to do is just, you know, fill this part in with your grey wool on the sides, and we'll get into the next part. So that's what you should have when you're done with that. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to come onto the inside part of this, and we're just going to put in iron blocks, just 1 block inside, and this will go all the way to 1 block here, and then just fill this part in solid like this. Just like that. And then after you've got that bit, what you're going to do is you're going to bring this part across by 7, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and bring this down, and it should connect into the wall perfectly as long as you've got that. This wall, as long as this wall is kind of right, it'll fit in, and also just bring it back onto those 2 parts there. And then what you're going to do is, if you just bring back kind of rough wool kind of on this part, this will just be to build off. You can always cut it out later. So then what we're going to do on this bit is going to add 4, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then these 2s, these are just going to be 2s here. You have 2s built off this back bit here, just like that. And then what you need to do is you're just going to have 2s on this bit like this, just covering up those bits, and then here you're just going to have kind of like a set of 2 there, just to cover up that bit, and then you just got that there. So it's just trying to create a pattern for this actual kind of ski bit itself, and then from here you're just going to bring it on top this wall here and put in 1 there, and that finishes off the actual ramp itself. And then for the Phalanx Gun on the front, what you're going to do is you're going to leave a 1 block gap. You're going to cut out 3. I put yellow wool around this. You're just going to create a small circle here. So you got 3 here, then you got 3, and 3, just like that. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to create a 3x3 box, and then you're just going to go and make a cross kind of pattern, and you're going to go up by 2 with each of those. It's going to be a white piece of wool over the top, and then for the actual gun itself, what I did is I just put in a couple of pieces of black wool that come out just by 1 block like that. So if you do want another design for this one, look at my Type 45 Destroyer tutorial. When I get onto the guns of those, I've got an alternative you can use. So let's go on to the next part. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to create the bridge. So right next to here, what you can do is, right next to this block, just bring your grey wool all the way until it goes into this part here. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to put, for the time being, just put iron blocks in like this, going all the way back like that. And then just on this part here, you're just going to create a railing with, say, iron bars or fences. It's up to you. I prefer the iron bar look. It's up to you. So we'll just do that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come into kind of this ramp part, and you're just going to take out 1, 2, 3, and 4 in total, and then put a kind of grey wool block or light grey wool block or iron block just there. And I actually cut out a door here, which actually got me into underneath it, and it also went into the hangar deck, which I'll show you guys a little bit later. So you're just going to do that for now, and build this bit up like this. So it's just got this kind of, instead of having fence going all the way around it, it's got these blocks instead. And join these 2 like this. And then on the side of this part, you've got this one here, then you're going to have 3 in total, so you get 1, 2, and 3. These ones are just at the slightly kind of higher level. And then these 4 here They're going to have blocks in them, and there's just going to be 3 fences that wrap around the back like that, and then connect your fencing off this part right into this kind of back section. Now what we're going to do is we're going to build the actual missile system itself. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to just create this lower deck now. Actually, before I forget, there is a couple of blocks that I did notice a minute ago. So just in behind here, I just put grey wool on these blocks down here just to finish that up in case you haven't already done that, as I did forget. And of course in here, be a grey block that kind of goes into this bit here. So now we're actually going to go onto it. So while you've got this part here, all you're going to do is just cut out this bit and all of this bit. It's just going to be, so it's kind of like behind this one, but it's in line with this. Just cut out all of this section here. Just keep cutting. Then what you're going to do on the back part here, you're going to put one piece of white wool there, one there, and this white wool will just keep on going until it goes into the ramp. This is just some part of the actual kind of striping on it. It's easy just to put it in now, and then you're just going to build your lower deck just like this. So build this up, it'll just be 1 block lower, and then we're going to build the missile system. And once you've done that, all you can do is you're going to grab your iron bars, and this is just going to go around the outside of this part itself, just like that. And now for the missile system, what you can do is you're going to find the middle of this, your 1 block gap, and you're going to do like a 3x3, not 3x3, kind of this kind of circle here. And I'm going to fill this in solid, then do a cross pattern like this. Add 2 blocks to the actual bit itself. Get your red wool, this is what I use for the missiles anyway. And just add 1 to the side and 1 going back, and add 2 going forwards. Just like that. And then put 3 on the top, but not right on the front, so you're going to leave one bit sticking out. You could, if you wanted to, have the heads either white, or you could have these as white. You have them like this. So those are kind of like white bodies and then a red kind of head part of it. I just kept mine as red, like that. And what you can do as well, if you wanted to, grab your button or buttons and put your buttons on the front like that. So that just creates the basis for it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit that goes around it. Okay, so for this I used stone stairs. So what you're going to do is, just in the middle, what you can do is have these 2 like this. You're going to have stairs going on the outside. You're going to wrap 1 in, and you're basically going to work your way around just this part here. And it'll only be on 2 on the sides like that. And then all you're going to do is just build this up to a height of 4 in total. Just like that. So that just creates that kind of guard. You could make this one 5 blocks if you wanted to, but it's really up to you. So that finishes off most of the front itself. What we're now going to do is just put in the anchor. So all I did for the anchor system itself is I came down to this deck, and where you've got this set of 4, just you go 1, and then it's on the second one here. Just cut out 2 blocks like that, and then put in a slab, like a stone slab or something, and then come down here. And what you're going to do is you're just going to go down by 4, so you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can go out by 2, and then if you wanted to, you could add 1 onto this, and then go out like that. But you can't really do it on this side. All you can do is just go up. So that's all I did for this kind of system. It's really basic. It's the same on the other side as well. So again, this was one of my earlier ships, so it's not as kind of advanced. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Add these on the sides, just like you've done on the other side. And also, I haven't made a chain system for this one, but I can show you an alternative of how to go about doing it now anyway. So if you wanted to go about doing some sort of chain system already, this is kind of how I do it. I'd put anvils in instead of that actual slab. You're just going to bring some anvils down a bit, and then I would have had like a cobblestone wall, stone slab on it, and created this kind of pattern like this, and then somehow make it look like they're actually wrapping around maybe into some sort of hole or something like that. So I might have gone down here and put one in there. So it's kind of up to you how you want to build that kind of system. I don't have one on mine, so I haven't actually gone about it yet. I'm sure whenever I get around to actually doing interiors on mine, I'm sure I'll do it, but for now I've just put in the stone slab, so it's kind of up to you. If you've seen my Battleship tutorial, you can probably steal some ideas from that for how to do it, because it's quite nice on the Battleship tutorial. So let's get on to the next bit. Okay, what we can also do is from this ramp part we can actually bring back all these white lines like this, and also the black bit as well. So what you can do is you can actually bring this back pretty much all the way to the back. You will hit a slight difference. I'll actually show you on this one here. So you can bring this line all the way back, directly in line with this ramp, and it'll go all the way down quite far. So this is the actual kind of direct runway itself, and we're actually going to be cutting out this back gun bit here, which just gets cut straight out of the deck. So I would advise bringing it back where you've got the longest layer here, like bring it in line with that, so you'll be over here, and we'll when we get around to actually cutting it out, which is next, we'll actually put in all of this kind of stuff, and then we can get onto the actual markings itself. So let's do it. And just another detail as well, just on this part here, this kind of bit that comes out, you just have 2 iron bars here, and then you have 25, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, just like that. And then on this section of 8 that you've got here, what you can do is you're going to come in just underneath this bit that comes out here, and you're going to leave 2 blocks. You're going to cut out a door, leaving 1 block there. And this will actually be at the same level that you've got, say if you had brought back this floor here, it'll be at the same level. So this is the same on the other side as well, so we're just going to put in an iron door for this part, and the same on the other side. So it's here, so you're just going to leave 2 blocks, and then cut out and put in your door like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut out these kind of side bits on the side of the ship. I'm pretty sure on the actual ship they can be closed at any time, but I've had them open on my build as it gives this kind of side bit a lot more definition, because if this was kind of completely closed up, it'd be a bit boring. So I've kind of left mine open. So what you're going to do is, on the right side of the ship, you're going to count back a total of 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then on the 11th block, you're going to count. You're going to leave this bottom layer here, so it's actually on the same layer as the flight deck itself, and you're going to do a 3x3 square. So this will be on the not the flight deck, the hangar deck. This is the actual hangar deck itself, the really big hangar deck. So I'm just going to do light as well, so you can see inside. So there we go. So you can have that 3x3, and all you can do on these parts is just put fence in, or iron bars as I've done on this bit, so it stops you from falling in, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to count 11, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And so the 12th, you're going to just cut out another 3x3, just like this, and you're going to leave 3 blocks. And that's on the 4th, another 3x3, just like that. And you're going to leave a 1 block gap, and you're going to have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be 3 tall as well. So just get this, so I'm just going to put in my iron bars now. I'm pretty sure it's different on the other side, or at least minor bits are different, so I'm just doing it one side at a time. And then if we come to the other side, so we're now on to the left side of the ship, it is actually pretty much exactly the same. There's just one different bit with this 7 here, it's actually a 6. So I'm going to count it out with you guys anyway. So what we've got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And the 11th is going to be a 3x3 box. So you can see it's in line there. And then you have an 11 block gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Another 3x3, like this. You got a 3 block gap. Then a 3x3. You have a 1 block gap. This time it's going to be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like 3 blocks, just like that, and put in your iron bars. And just over here as well. So that's the first bit that we're cutting out. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to do the back of the ship first, and then do these extra bits here, just because the back of the ship, as I'm trying to fly over as fast as I can, we do have to do quite a lot of work kind of underneath, like this part, which is slightly raised up, and also putting in this gun. We're going to do that now. So we're just going to build this up now, so let's get onto it. Okay, so let's start chipping out the back and doing all the shaping on these parts here, so let's do it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to do this side here, so I'm just going to fly around the ship itself. So I'll just do it side by side. I think it's going to be the easiest way to do it. So what you're going to do is, while you've started to get this like tallest run, you're going to go up onto the second one. You're going to count 14. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. On the 15th one, what you're going to do is you're going to cut out a 5x3 box. So you got 5 by 3, just like this, like that, and then just put in your iron bars on this part here. Okay, now what you're going to do is, where you've got this, the tallest bit, you're just going to add a block in here, and you're going to go back 5 this way, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these you're just going to cut out, and this will be height of 3. So this is actually going to be 1 level up from the hangar deck itself. It's just slightly raised. So you've got 3 of those, so there, and it's the same on this side as well. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll cut these out of the back. So you've got this 3x5 kind of square going down onto this bit, and on the other side as well. And then you're just going to put your iron bars in, wrapping around these. Now you're going to leave 3 block gap, and you've got another 5x3. And exactly the same, you're going to put in your iron bars. So like I said, this part is raised up, so you will, or if you want to, you can put in this deck, or if you could, if you want to, just leave it and have just kind of like a bit more of a raised thing. So let's go on to the next bit, and then at the back what you're going to do is on this side now, you're going to count 3, so you got 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to just cut out 4 of these. The first 2 on this side are only 2, and the other ones are a 4. So it's a little bit misshapen. This is because we get the kind of lower platform, which we're going to put in just in a second as we go around, and then put your iron bars on like that. And now we're going to move on to this side of things. So what you're going to do is you're basically going to mirror this part here on the other side. So you've got 3 blocks, so you've got 1, 2, 3, and that's the 4th one, cut out 4. And again, this part here is the 2, and this part here is the 3 high, and then put in your iron bars like that. And now what we're going to do like we did on the other side, except for it's a little bit different. You're going to count 13 blocks this way, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now this time you're going to cut out 6, because before on the other side we had 14. This one's 13, so we got just a slight difference. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's 3 high, and it should be on a different level to that one. Just like that. So that finishes off the back sections, kind of the bits that are actually cut out. What we're now going to do is, if I just fly over here, we've actually got this Phalanx Gun at the back here that we're going to put in, and this actually goes onto this railing part here, so you're going to walk all the way around, but it also connects into where I put in my flight deck kind of bits here, which you can't see any of at the minute. So it kind of connects into this bit that I've got going around the side. But also, if I actually quickly show you guys what I did with the raised part. So this is all I did with the raised part. I just create this kind of bit going around it. It's not amazing, but it just gets raised up a little bit, and I put in these kind of just another brick fence with a white piece of wool on it. Just a couple of those in these kind of holes, as if they're the places where you can tie up certain things. So it's up to you guys if you want to put that in or not. They are just pretty much as close as I can get to the middle, and on these 3 sections they're on kind of the 3rd one, and all of these ones are middle, and then this one's kind of in the middle of both of them in a way. So now what we're going to do is build up that gun part. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just cut out of the deck. So what you're going to do is, from this part here, you're going to count back 9. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then cut out the 10th block here. It's going to cut down this one by a total of 4. And now what you're going to do is you're just going to switch this deck in for 5 pieces of like iron or your light grey wool. Now you can cut out this entire section here and cut this down to the same level that you've got here. So it should just be 1 above the other level. And then after you've done that, you should have here, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 on this part here. And then on this wall, just come down here and just bring these down. Just like this. Just bringing those down like that. And then with your grey wool, or your whatever your deck colour you've got, and you're just going to go around like this and fill in the floor just like this. So you get that. So that's just building the base platform for it. And then we're just going to create kind of this side part for it. So what you can do is just going to add 5 blocks to this bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1. You have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it just brings it to here. So this is just the side bit going around. We're now going to cut out the circle as well. So just the same as we did with the front gun. We have this kind of circle with the yellow wool. Just like that. And then on top of these side bits we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it just overhangs by 1. You're going to have 1 block on there. And then again, you're going to have this overhang. So it does join on. You don't have to have this block in here. I've got it on mine for some reason, so it's up to you if you want to put that one in. And then this one's going to go back by 7 in total. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just going to overhang on this side by 1 as well. Here I actually put in a block there, and I actually put in my stair. I use stone stairs for mine. It's up to you what kind of stairs you want to use. So I just put in my stair there, and I cut out my door to go into this kind of an upper deck that I actually built going around. Just there, so you can put that in if you want to. And now what we're going to do is we're going to build up the actual Phalanx Gun. It's exactly the same as the front, so you're just going to do a 3x3 square like this, and then you're going to build a cross pattern and build that up to a height of 2. It's going to be a white piece of wool over the top of it, and then where you want your gun coming out, just put black wool in and just come out by 1 block. So it's a really simple design. So then you've got that, and you've got enough room to actually walk around it. So we're just going to finish off doing all of these side cut out pieces, which is just mainly, I think it's just the boats and those kind of bits. And then we're going to do the railing going around, and then we're going to get onto deck patterns, and then finally we're going to do the actual islands and the towers and all that kind of bit itself. So let's do it. Okay, so we're just going to do more of the cutouts for the actual hull itself. So these are both exactly the same on each side. So I'm just going to show you how to do one side, which is just these 3 holes here. So you're just going to come to the back part where you've got this kind of overhang here, and you're going to count 15 of these blocks. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And the 16th one you're going to do is you're going to cut out a 3x3. You're going to leave a 3 block gap, then a 3x3. And now what you're going to do is you're going to cut out. You're going to leave a. You're going to count down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the 8th block, you're going to do 7x3. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 3, like that. And then you're just going to put in your iron bars, just like this. Just on those 3 sections. We've still got these bits to do here. But if you do that on the other side as well, exactly the same, then what we're going to do is we're going to go onto the bits, because these 2 bits are actually slightly different. So we've got this one here, we've got this one here as well, and this one I think actually has an extra bit. Yeah, it has this extra bit here which actually juts out to the side. So let's get to it. Okay, and then for the next kind of side bit, what we're going to do is we're going to count from the front part. I'm just currently on the right side of the ship, just in case you're getting confused. I'm going to count 25 blocks. So you got 1, 2, 22, 23, 24, and 25. And then on your 26th block, what you're going to do is you're going to cut out 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's going to be 5 high, so you've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a really big kind of empty gap. This is actually where the boats are going to go. This part as well is the same on the other side as well, so we'll actually do that in a second. Then what you're going to do is you're going to leave a 3 block gap. I'm going to do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's only 2 high. And on top of this one, you're going to leave this block here, and then you're just going to do another 5x2, like that. And then on this part here, you've got a 3x2, so you've got a 1 block gap here. You've got 3 there, so it's a little bit weird, this part. This is kind of how I saw it on the actual ship itself. And then, of course, if we grab our iron bars, just for these back parts, we're going to put in the boat. There's a boat in this part, and there's a boat on the other side as well, so we're going to put those in a second. So let's put in the fences on, not fences, the iron bars on those. I'm just going to fly to the other side. So then do the same on the other side, and I'll kind of get back to you for what you need to do on this side here. So do this side now, and we'll get onto that other bit.
Okay, we're actually just going to build these boats quickly, and then we'll get onto the other sides of this side part. So what you're going to do is you're going to come in by 1 block on here, going to go up by 2, same on the other side as well. You're going to leave a 3 block gap, and you're going to have another 2, like this, and you're going to have 1 diagonal coming in on each side. This is just a kind of stand for the actual boat itself. And then choose whatever kind of colour you want for the actual boat itself. What you're going to do is you're going to come on top of this part, come forwards, and you're just going to put whatever type of wall you've got connecting across these parts, like this. And then just on the back it just comes across by 1, so it's a really simple design. It's kind of like lifeboats, and then I just used spruce wood slabs. You can either use them on that bottom part of it, or you can come in underneath like this, which is what I think I did on mine. So build that on the other side as well, and we'll get to the next bit. Okay, so we're now going to set up for this part here, which is just slightly different on one of the sides. It's got this kind of bit that juts out, like this. There's a couple of doors in there, a couple more of the holes, so we're just going to do that now. Okay, so what you're going to do is from your actual boat, you're going to leave a 2 block gap, and then you're going to have 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is not on deck level anymore, it's slightly higher. That'll be 3 high in total, so you get that. Then what you're going to leave is a 1 block gap. Now you've got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, this is 3 high like this, so it's a slightly raised up part of the deck itself. Then you're going to leave a 3 block gap, and it's just going to be 2 of these are just going to actually be doors. So I just put in 2 doors on this part, like that. It just changes it up. There will be a bit that comes out the side and it all kind of connects in, so it doesn't look as random as it does there. And then you have a 2 block gap, and now you're going to have 5 by 3. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, it's going to be 3 high. So make sure that it's the same height as these other ones here, and only this one here is actually going to have your iron bars on. All of the other bits actually connect into the side platform we're going to build now. Okay, so for this platform itself, come to where you got the doors and go out to one side, 1 block on the side, and then add 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do 1 block on the side of this part, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just join these 2 together. For this part, all I did is just fill in this kind of floor solid, so just fill this in. And then once you filled that in, all you're going to do is you're going to come underneath, you're just going to add 2 blocks to all of these parts, and just go all the way to the end. Just like that. So that finishes off all the hole cutting out bits, and almost finishes off the platform. All you need to do to finish it up is just put around the outside a bit of fencing, just like this. Just bring some fencing around it, or not fencing, some iron bars around it. If you want to as well, you could do what I did and actually build your platform. You can add a platform that's kind of slightly raised up on this part, which I'll actually just show you now. So I'm just going to show you what I actually did on the inside for these parts here. So on the right hand side of the ship, all I did is I just had some stairs going up, which goes to these different levels, and then I had also stairs going up into this upper kind of ring that I've done. So that's for this section here. And I've also got this room which is kind of hidden in here, which just got a couple of things in there. And for the other side, all I did is I just made a small raised platform like this, which just has a couple of stairs going up onto it, and I can walk through. And again, I've put in my stairs going up onto that higher bit, but so you can put that in now if you want to, or you can leave it for later. I won't be going up over exactly how I've done it. I'll just show you an idea of how to do it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do all this deck markings. We're going to actually do the railing kind of nearer the end of the tutorial, as it is quite annoying. So we're just going to do the deck markings first, and we'll lay out the basic part of this. So let's do it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is where we've actually got this this gun here. What we're going to do is where you've got this line here, we're going to just continue this line with white wool going all the way to the other side of the deck. So just bring this line all the way across, cutting out this deck here, and then fill that in with white wool. And now if you've done the same as me and you brought this line down to there, what you can now do is bring it all the way back into the deck here. And then once you've done that kind of runway part, what we're going to do is count over this bit by 4 blocks. So you're going to leave 4 block gap of grey. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the 5th one, you're going to bring this line all the way pretty much to the end. So I'll show you where you actually have to stop this line. So you're going to bring the line all the way up to here, and where you've got this white line going across the ramp itself, you're actually going to bring this line all the way onto the other side of the deck here. just like this. So bring it all the way up to there. And that's actually where you're going to intersect with your line roughly. It does get changed a little bit later, but for the basic lines, this will be fine until we get into the really finer details on it. So let's do it. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're just going to leave a 9 block gap. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Well, the 10th one, so you've actually got 9 here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hopefully that makes sense. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut this one all the way through this line, like this. You bring this one all the way back, like that, and then you're going to bring this one to touching the actual runway itself. And you won't go through the actual black part of this, but you will continue it onto the other side, like that. Now we can actually put in the kind of position number 1 on this, so leave a 2 block gap here. You're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you should be able to put in a 1, like that. And now what we're going to do is, on this line that you've got here, you're going to leave a 6 block gap. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. They're going to cut this one out. And this one just goes between these 2 lines here. Just like that. And then we're just going to put in the marking for a 0 on this. So we're going to leave 2 of these. There's going to be 1 block between that line there. And you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And come around here, you're just going to make this 0 like this. So it's a really easy kind of thing to do. Just like that, so that makes a 0. I'm pretty sure that this one's a helicopter kind of landing place. So you also need to bring this line that we just cut out. This one needs to go into the forward deck as well. Or at least I just brought it all the way up to here, like that. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to edit this line here. I did say that was slightly different earlier, so you're going to leave 4 of these, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we can just put back in the grey wall for the rest of them. It just moves over 1 block closer to the actual ramp itself, like that. And now there's just another marking to do, so we're just going to put in 1 block here. We're going to have a 2. Then we're going to go 4. And then come back in for 2. I'm not too sure what this bit was, but I did see on some of the deck markings that was this weird kind of semicircular kind of shape here, so this is the best that I did with that. Okay, so we're just going to do some of the lines at the back of this part of the deck now. So what you need to do is you need to count a space in total between this back line going forwards of 19 in total. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. It's actually 18, not 19, sorry. So you've got a gap of 18, so if you have 18 blocks there, on the 19th block, you're just going to bring this white wool all the way across this deck like this. So just drag this across. Just going to get rid of these blocks. And then bring this line all the way across until you kind of touch into the runway, and then bring it across on the other side as well. Just don't go through the black wool. So you've just got that line there. And now what you can do is you can have a gap of 19 in total. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. And exactly the same on the 20th block this time. We're just going to cut this through and bring this all the way across. Just like we did on the last one, so it goes across this bit here without trying to destroy too much of the deck. And then on this side as well, going across. Just like that, and now what you can do is you can have a 9 block gap. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So on the 10th block, you're then going to cut out this deck and then put in your white wool. So bring this one all the way across here, just like we have the last few. And then across here as well. Just like that. And now we're just going to put in these numberings here. So we've got 6 numbers in total. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we're just going to start on this side. So where you've got this kind of gun, it's going to be in this box here. You're going to leave a 2 block gap. And then you're going to make an 8. Just like this. So it's really, really easy. And there's your 8. And then a 2 block gap from here. What you're going to do is you're going to do your 9. So it's going to be right next to this deck here. Oh, not there. 2 block gap. There we go. So that's where your 9's going to go. Now you can either do your 9 as that, or you can do it across like this, which is what I do, like that. And there's just another line we need to do which goes across here, which I almost forgot about. So if you come to the back on this side, you're going to leave 3 block gap and cut a line from here, going all the way to that line that we made before. So it's going to cut all the way through here, all the way up here, until we get to this line right here. So fill this all in white wool and I'll get back to you. So for the next kind of 2 numbers, what we're going to do is we're going to come back 7. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then on the 8th block, for this one what you're going to do is you're going to create a 6, and it's right next to the deck, like this. Not right next to the deck, it's right next to the actual hull itself, rather than being on this line. And it's the same on the other side, just with a 7 this time. So you've got another 7 block gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and on the 8th. This is where your 7 is going to go, and again it's going to be 1 block from this line here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just going across like that. And now we're going to do 4 and 5, which is just in these squares here. So what you're going to do is you're going to leave a 2 block gap, and then not in there. You're going to do it right next to here, and I just go down by 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and across a couple blocks, and you just got this for your 4. And then on the other side, you're just going to do a 5. So you've got 2 block gap, and you're just going to make a 5. Just like that. So that finishes off pretty much this back section here. We've got those deck markings done in there. So we're gonna lay out where this main island goes now. We're just gonna do the first layer of that, so that when we can use that as a reference point for the rest of this kind of mid section and the midship part. So let's do it. Okay, so we're just gonna set up the basic part for these towers. This is just gonna be pretty much the kind of the basic layer, just so that we've got something to work the actual deck into. So you're going to find kind of the back part again. You're going to leave a 7 block gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. On the 8th block, you're going to place a block. You're going to be 4. There's going to be 4 grey pieces of wool, or your decking, just showing on this side, and then this is going to be 7 long going this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you've got 7 gap here, and you've got a 4 gap here. Then what you're going to do is just going to bring back this wall really, really far to the front. So just keep on bringing this one back. I'm just doing it really roughly at the minute. I'll show you where to stop. It pretty much goes all the way to the front. These island parts, or the base of it, is pretty big. So where you've got this line that we did earlier, you're going to leave 2 blocks of grey showing without putting black on. So you've got 2 grey here. Again, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So just going to fill in those walls just for the base layer. We're just going to put in this basic layer. There's loads of stuff like cranes and the boats and a gun as well on the sides. So bring those kind of walls together, and then we'll get onto more deck markings. Okay, so now onto more of the markings going across. So we're just going to do the basic kind of lines that cut in, and then we're going to cut out the things where the lifts are going to go and that type of thing. So let's get to it. So what you're going to do this time is from the back line, you're going to leave a 9 block gap. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then on the 10th block, just going to cut this out. This time it just goes, just right into where the actual kind of towers and islands parts set. But you're going to do exactly the same as you've been doing before. And don't go through the runway, but keep on bringing them back here. So now what we're going to do is going to have a 19 block gap. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And again, just cut through this. Cutting through all of the deck. Just like that. And now you're going to have a 9 block gap. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And again, it's going to be on the 10th block now. So you've just got this 9 block gap. Do exactly the same. And now you're going to have a 25 block gap. So this is the biggest one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So on the 26th block, you're going to cut through exactly the same as you've been doing before. And we'll go to the next bit. And now the last one, it's just going to be a 9 block gap. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And on the 10th block, you're going to be cutting out. Just like this. There we go. So now you should have the kind of basic lines going across. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to put in the final kind of numberings. And we're going to get onto the kind of elevators, the 2 elevators that there is. There's one really close up on the front with
couple extra kind of circles in it and things. That's just a simple one at the back, but we'll do these numbers first. So we're just going to do this one first. So where we've got this 1, you've got this other square here, and you're going to leave the 2 block gap here, and you're just going to do a number 2. Just like that, and then you're going to find the next kind of smaller square, and this time you're going to leave a 2 block gap and do a 3. So 1, 2. Like this. Just like that. So that finishes off all the numbering of the positions. So you got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So now let's do the ramps. So now let's do the elevators. Okay, so for the first ramp, find where you've got this 4 and 5 and the kind of line that's going kind of most towards the front of the ship. You're going to leave a 1 block gap. Where you've got this line that isn't the runway, you're going to have a 1 block gap here, and you're just going to do 3 of these. And counting these 3, you're actually going to go 9 in total. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you're going to count this one as a 9. Then you have a 1 which does cut into the deck, not into the deck, into the runway itself. Now you're going to have 15, so you're going to go diagonal again. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. 15. Once you've done that 15, you're then going to come in for a 1, and then you're going to have a 9 going across again. So you're counting this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then a 1. You're just going to have a 15 going back as well. If we can just get this, there we go. And then just bring this back here, and then remember that you've got a 1 on this 9 here. Connect that in. So that's where your first elevator is. And now for the second one and the most forwards elevator, it is slightly different. It's not, well, it's the same shape, but it's actually moved closer towards the towers. So what you're going to do is, where you've got this weird semicircular bit, you're going to leave a 3 block gap on the inside of this, then place down a block right on there, and then counting these 2, you're going to go 9 in total again. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, like that. Then you've got 1 again, and then you're going to have your 15. So this time it's not cutting into the deck. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then you've got your 1 here, and then a 9. So count these 2 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then you've got a 1. And then you go 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, and then a 1. So let's fill this all in. And then just to finish off the deck markings, there's just one little bit extra. So where you've got this forward kind of elevator, come where you've got this intersecting cross here. Just going to place 1 going towards the tower part. You've got 1, then go diagonally be 1, then you've got 2. Now you've got a 5, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then a 2, and a 1, and a 1, and it should connect into that part. So it's just kind of like a kind of half circle that's kind of built into it. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but that finishes off the deck markings itself. So I'm just going to fly over and give you an aerial. So it's already starting to kind of look like the ship itself. You can see the other ship on the left, and then you've got this one on the right. So it's starting to get there now. So you're doing really well, guys. What we're now going to move on to is all of these side railing parts. Then all we have to do is the islands and this kind of crazy setup for everything, and obviously the bridge and all that, and then we're done. So you're doing really, really, really well. We're almost done with this build. Okay, so another thing you need to do, I don't know if I've actually gone through this, I just noticed it missing a line. This line here gets brought back all the way right to the back here, as we're actually going to use it now for setting up the actual railing. So then what you're going to do is from here, you're going to go over by 2 blocks, and you're going to go down by 1. And you're going to have just 1 block here. This is just going to create the outside of it. You're going to then go diagonal and diagonal again. Then bring this around the back of the ship like this. And we're just going to go around the corner. So bring it in line with this part here. So after you've brought that in line with this corner here, what we're going to do is we'll then, so it should be in line here with this block here. I'm just going to go diagonal by a couple of blocks. Like that. So you've got an extra 3 diagonals here, and then this one just gets continued on. And we're just going to go to where this part is here for now.
So we're just going to go in line with that, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come on the inside and we're just going to put a floor in, and I just use the kind of iron blocks or light grey wall blocks, and it just creates this kind of too wide walkway for people to really walk on. So just fill this in as a floor just up to that point, and then we'll get on to the next bit. Okay, so once you've filled in that floor, what we're going to do is we're going to extend this part here by 12 blocks. So you're just going to add 12 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And they're going to go diagonal like this. I'm just going to bring this one pretty much, if you bring it right in line with this one, that'll work for now. So just where you got this white line going across for the 5, bring it in line with this, and then when you've got it in line with this block here, you're going to add 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3, and it's going to go in diagonally a couple of times to finish it off, and then all you need to do is just fill in the floor like this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut out where I've put in a couple of stairs which actually goes into the hangar deck itself. Okay, so for the first kind of stair that goes into the deck, what you're going to do is find this back line that comes across here and then count 4 of these ones. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And come down. I use stone stairs for these, so I'm just going to put in 2 sets of stairs like this, 2 sets of stairs in like this, and then if you come underneath it gets a bit complicated. All I did is I put in 2 of them, 2 kind of iron or light grey wall here, 1 here, another 2 to just cover up this part here, and 1 in the back just to cover it up. So it creates this kind of covered up bit, and then you can just cut a door in here, which will just take you into the hangar deck, and you can always build some sort of platform like I have in mind that goes around the actual hangar deck, or you can just build a ladder going down, or just some simple stairs, something like that. It's really up to you on that bit. So now we're just going to do the other stair, which is around this part. Okay, so there's 2 sets of stairs here. I've got one of them that goes onto the actual flight deck itself, which I just put in here. So you got 1 block here, and I put it in here and just cut into the deck and had a couple of stairs up here, which brings you up to the back of the actual islands itself. Then what you're going to do is you're going to count 4 of these ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is where your stair is going to go down this direction this time. And I did do a slight difference with this one. I put in my floor here, and then this block here is actually the stair that goes inside, so it doesn't actually have a door going in. So it's up to you. You could always move it back 1 block and do the same as we did over there, or you can do it this way, and then if you come underneath, it's going to cover up this gap here and this gap here, I believe it is. Just have a quick look. So you actually don't need that one. You can actually just have it as a really simple bit there, just with 2 extra blocks on the bottom, and that kind of creates that goes into the hangar deck itself. So now what we're going to do is just a tiny bit of detail on the back, and then we're going to get onto the longest kind of run. There is a really long sidewalky type thing going across here. Okay, so we just got to place down some extra iron bars right on the back where you've got this gun. Just on top of this one, we're just going to put some iron bars around the side, like this, and then continue it around here, and then just across this part here. So it's just a little bit extra detail. Now we're going to get onto this side railing part that connects onto this gun bit here. So we're just going to build the next bit. So where you've got this stair going off this block, you just put another block here. This is where your stair goes this way, so it does kind of change direction. You'll be stepping up onto this part here. Now right next to it, if you build this block up to a height of an extra 2, and add a block onto it, then we're just going to go diagonally, and we're going to bring this one back just a short distance in line with this part for the time being, and then you can fill in your floor like this, and then come underneath, and it's already covered up, which is great. So there we go. So now you have your walk going into the actual hangar deck from the gun. You can get around this part and go onto this walkway, and now we're just going to continue the walkway on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add 13 blocks onto this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then you're going to go out, and this run is really, really long. It goes most of the length of the ship. So I'll tell you where to stop it. Just keep on bringing it back all the way past most of these positions. And if you bring it back all the way to where you've got the 2, so this white line by the 2 here. So there we go, we've got the white line there, so we're in line with this. And then if you come to the front where you've got this, where you've got position number 1 and you've got this white line, you're going to count a total of 8 of these blocks. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
The 9th block, you're going to come down by 1 block, and you're just going to have 1, another 1, and then this is just going to join right into that railing that's going around the side. So just bring this all the way back and join it in, and then all you need to do, as we've been doing before, is just put in your floor and all of these parts, and then I'm going to tell you where to cut out the stairs. So just fill this in and I'll get back to you. Okay, so what we're going to do for the first kind of stair going down, we're going to find where we've got this free, and we're going to count 8 of these, not on the line here, I'm going to count from here, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and then come down here, and these ones are going to be the sideways kind of ones, where you just cut out here, and that's actually going to have a block as the floor here, and then comes around and goes in like this. And I'm pretty sure, there we go, we only need to put in 1 extra block just on the bottom, so that's number 1. And then for the next one, find number 2, and what you're going to do is just going to, where you've got this line going towards the front, this line here, you're going to count 2 of these blocks. And then it's going to be exactly the same, the kind of sideways style one, so you're just going to place a block down here and cut down, put in your stair, and that's just going to be 1 extra block just to cover up that stone stair. You don't have to put this one in, but I always do. Just going to make it look a little bit better. And that finishes off the entire side railing part, all of the deck detail type things. And now all we really have to do is the big kind of tower section, which is pretty simple. Especially the bottom layer, and we'll just do it section by section, probably working from the back to the front, as the front is probably the most complex. So let's do this, guys. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to build up this wall to a total height of 5. There is bits that we'll need to cut out kind of a bit later, but pretty much about 80% of it is up to a height of 5. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just go all the way around this kind of box, building up to a height of 5, and I'll get back to you for the next section. Okay, so now once you've kind of filled in that part, you're going to come to the front part, and you're just going to build this up again by another layer, like this, and then counting back, you're going to have 6 blocks. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you're just going to fill this part in with a kind of raised deck. This is just a 1 block raised from the rest of it, so you just fill this in like this. And now what you're going to do is you're going to come in on this kind of lower level, and this is going to be your next kind of deck. So I've left enough space on this build itself so that you can actually put in a ceiling, so that you've got, like, you can put in a white wall ceiling, and you can actually put in your lights as glowstone or whatever. So you've actually got an extra block for the ceiling itself and an extra block for the floor. So you have got quite a lot of space in this build. So bring this layer all the way back there, and then we'll get on to the next bit. Okay, so as I kind of like said earlier, we're going to work our way back all the way to the front, doing the side bits as we go. So what we need to do at the back is we actually need to cut off 3 of these blocks, and we're going to cut it down so that this wall has a height of 3 in the back. This is just slightly lower than the rest of it. So just cut all of this part out until you have this, and then you're just going to build a wall at the back as well. So you're just going to bring this down just like this, and then put in your grey wall as a decking here, just like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go around the outside of this part with iron bars. So it's going around this part here like this, without trying to destroy most of the ship itself. As you can probably tell, I've been doing this tutorial for quite a while now, so I'm starting to get really knackered. And then I use never brick fence just to go around on the outside part of this like that. Okay, and then there's 2 tiny little sensor type things here. So what you're going to do is you're going to place 1 never brick fence here with a white piece of wool, and I just put on 2 never brick fences on each side. Then for the next one, I came in by 1 block here and put another never brick fence, white piece of wool, and again never brick fence on each side. And I actually put 1 on the front, so you could put 1 on the front of this one as well if you wanted to. I'll do it on this build just to change it slightly so that you've got kind of consistency with these 2 parts. But that finishes off that tiny little back section. So let's go on to the next bit. And then for the next bit, we're going to build this kind of sensor part here. So what you're going to do is you're going to leave 1 block here, and then we're going to have a 3x3, not 3x3, diameter 5 circle, which you've got 3, 3, 3, but they've got a 1 block kind of gap part here. Build this up to a height of 3. And then on the 2 sides, you're just going to add an extra set of 3 blocks on the sides like this. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to extend this circle out. So we're going to have 3 then a 1, then a 3, then a 1, then a 3, then a 1. So we're just making a diameter 7 circle now, like this. Build this up to a height of 2, just like this. And then what you're going to do is on this layer here, you're just going to go and add 2 blocks out onto the side. These platforms. So you've got this again, just kind of like a builder's point. I've got this circle in here, so this is actually the same kind of circle that we got here, this 3 1 3 1 type thing. Except for this time we got a 2 1 2, but it's the same kind of principle there. Is it just kind of making an extra kind of circles, and it always just kind of looks like it kind of curves in and it's supported. And then on these platforms here, you're just going to go around them with iron bars like this. Just like that. And then in the middle I put in a nether brick fence, went up by 1, went out on each of these sides. It'll go over this part, but don't worry about it. So just like this. And we'll keep on building up. Now we're going to go in for a diameter 5 circle. So you've got this 3 here and 3 here. So it's basically just on the inside of this part. Just like this. Build it up to a height of 2. So just add an extra block onto the top of all of this part here. Now we're going to come in again and we're going to have a diameter 3 kind of square. This will be a height of 2 again. Just like that. Then you're going to have your iron bars going all the way around the outside like this. Just on this top part. Put in a nether brick fence. Then you're going to have 1 piece of wall, and all we're going to do is we're just going to go up and then make a cross. I'm just going to have 1 piece of wall on the top. So you're just making this really simple sphere, like probably one of the smallest spheres that you can make. And then to finish off this sensor part, if we just come to this side here, we've got this diameter 7. We're just going to add these 2 in here. And it's going to go up to a total height of 7. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I just added a nether brick fence going back, just as like a simple antenna on the back. And now we can move on to the next section. And then with your iron bars, just come onto this side of it, and you're just going to go 17 in total. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. There will be a wall on this part, so you can just put in a couple of blocks there just to kind of show where the wall is going to be. And there's also iron bars going across this front part before I forget. Just across this part, it does get a bit messy connecting into this wall. And just bring it up to this point here because there is like a railing that goes around on the other side. Okay, so if we come to the front again, all we're going to do is we're just going to put in 5 blocks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then this is where a stair is going to go. Now if we come down here, and we're just going to go down to this block here, and we're just going to go out by 2, and then we're just going to bring this back. This is where the actual, some of the iron bars actually go onto, which will connect into this back piece. It's just easier to do it from the front with that part. So just keep on bringing this back. And where you've got this kind of section here, you're going to leave 1 block here, and then you're going to go out, then out again, just like this. Then add an extra block here. And all of this part here, this top railing, this top part here is going to get switched out for grey wool. So just delete this. And then what you need to do is just fill in this section with your grey wool. So do that, going all the way right to this kind of bar here, and we'll get to the next bit. And then once you've done the deck for that, all you're going to do is these iron bars, you're just going to continue around. You should have this kind of squiggly pattern here, if not, put it in. And you're just going to bring these iron bars all the way down until it connects into the deck at the front. And then once you've done all of those iron bars, you're just going to come underneath, and we're going to cover up this part here. So we're just going to put in even more kind of blocks just for this part, just to cover up this section. So just cover up the actual grey wall itself, and we'll get on to the next bit. Okay, so now what you're going to do is we're just going to do an extra kind of marking part type thing here. So behind this sensor we just made, leave 3 blocks of grey. What you're going to do is you're going to make a 5 diameter circle. So you've got your 3 here, leaving 1 gap here, then you've got 3. Then up 3, and up 3. This is just in yellow wool, just to kind of mark it out. And then in the middle you're going to put 2 iron blocks, and go up 7 with nether brick fence. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then the last one is just going to come back towards the back of the ship. And then what you're going to do is, where you've got this line here, you're just going to put in 2 iron blocks like that. This is just kind of like the junk that is kind of left on, or some sort of box or something. It's something there. So
Let's put that in. Then what we're going to do is we're going to create a ladder that goes up onto the side of this. So just cut out right in the middle of this. Put in your ladder. Now you can either do what I did on mine, which I wrapped around some fences, just as like a guard going around the actual ladder itself, and then leaving a gap for you actually to walk around. So you can put this in if you want to. It's really up to you. Just make sure that you've got enough so that you've got a 2-block gap at the bottom. And all you're going to do is just wrap around these. So this is kind of like an optional piece. It's just kind of me messing around with trying to make a guard for it. So I've just used iron bars. Then you've got this here so that you know, if you do fall, you aren't going to fall off the ship. So you can put that in if you want. And then over on this part, we're just going to roughly put in, we're just going to go 3 blocks with this part, and it's going to be a height of 5. So counting that block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's build up that wall like that. And then add 11 blocks going this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And build this up to a total height of 3, so it's slightly lower than the kind of last bit we just did, which was this bit here. Then on the first kind of bit that you've got here, what I did is I put in a door here, so you can just put in your kind of door gap like this, and then just switch out this one for grey wool and put in an extra grey wool, and then you're just going to use your stone stairs going towards the back of the ship with like a kind of some stairs going up that way, and then on the outside of this you're just going to put iron blocks or like grey wool blocks, just like that, and then come around the sides as well, and you're just going to build up this part like that. And if you want to, you can come around the bottom as well, and you can put in blocks on the bottom. I didn't on mine, but I'm going to do it on this because that's what I've been doing on my latest builds. And then all you need to do with iron bars is just come around, make a railing going up just to this part here. So then you've got a door going into there, and you've got your stairs go down there as well as your ladder. So now we're just going to build up this kind of back section here, and we'll just keep on moving on to these stacks here. And then just continuing this wall here, we're just going to bring it up to 1 block short. And again, it's going to be this 3 wide kind of part, so you can put in the entire wall of this part, or you can cut it out from the inside and build it up to the height of 6. Just like this, so just build it up. And then just on this front block here, you're just going to go up as well and just extend it like that. And then put in your grey wall onto this part. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to create an extension on towards this kind of deck here. You're just going to add a couple extra blocks around here, and adding them around just to this point here, and then you can take out your kind of iron blocks or like grey wall blocks, and you just put in your deck like that. You can go around it, around the outside with your iron bars like this, and then I put in a ladder going up to this part, just on this part here, and just cut out this bit here. Now we're just going to put in 2 of these kind of sensor type things, exactly the same. So on this side we're just going to be right next to the iron bars, and this one's going to be 1 in just here, so you've got 1 block of grey here, and place a white piece of wool on top of them. And the next layer up is just going to be a cross shape, like this, and then 1 piece of wool on top. So both of them are exactly the same. There should be a 1 block gap in between them when they're kind of fully done, just like that. And then just to finish off this section, where you've got this kind of extension-y bit, just here you're going to add 9 blocks. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're going to leave 2 of those, and then you're just going to create a cross around it. And then grab your nether brick fence. You're just going to go around on these little gaps like that. Then add 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And do 1 going towards the back. And then just 1 block down, you can go out on each side like that. So I've actually done this part opposite, so the kind of bits that are sticking out the side are actually at the top. You've got one bit coming out, but it doesn't really matter on that part. So now we're done with this little section here, so now we'll move on to the first set of smokestacks here. And then what we're going to do is where we've got this wall that we created earlier, we're just going to bring this one block short of the actual the iron bar, so you've still got that walk around, and build up to a a height of 3 total, just like this. And then what you're going to do is just fill in the deck. So this does create a really small room that's only got a height of 2. This is kind of more accurate with the kind of layered and different heights that you've actually got. So just fill this in and we'll get on to the next bit. And then for the first smokestack, what we're going to do is going to come to the back of this part and just go across by 3, then have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 and 1, just like this. And build this up to a total height of 5 in total, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Build all of that out to a total height of 5, and I'll get on to the next bit. And then the part that's kind of towards the front of the ship, you're just going to build this part up, one extra layer, and only 4 of these ones up, one extra layer like this. And now what you're going to do is you're going to be using black wool on yours, like I did on my destroyer tutorial. I'm actually going to use quartz blocks, as it's a bit clearer and you can see it a lot clearer. So we're just going to, you guys will be doing it out of the black wool. I'm going to be doing it out of quartz blocks so that you can see it really clearly. But basically all you're going to do is just going to go on top of this, all of these layers like this, and on top of the lower layers, and then just join these kind of lower layer together, and the top layer as well. And you can just create a nice floor like this. And now we're just going to do the actual funnels themselves. So all you're going to do for the funnels, again you'll be doing it out of black wool. You're just going to create a cross pattern. This is towards the front of the ship. You've got a cross pattern here, build this up to a height of 2. So that, and then you're going to put iron blocks or light grey wall blocks on the top of it. Then leave a 1 block gap. This will be the same height, but this time all these bottom ones will be up to a 3. So you got 3 like that, and then again iron blocks on them like that. So it does look a lot better in the black rather than in the white quartz blocks. So now we're going to do, there's a couple of antennas that are actually attached to this, so we'll do that and we'll get on to the next section. So all we're going to do is just underneath the actual black layer, black wool layer, we're just going to put in 2 fences here. Then on this side we're going to go up by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then underneath we'll do 3, then 2, and then 1. So we're just creating that kind of step pattern with the fences themselves. It's the same on the other side, so just in these gaps, then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 2, then a 1, like that. And there's 1 more antenna on this section. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go around with iron bars. It's just on a part of this. It just connects right into the funnel here. You could bring them all the way around this part if you wanted to, but when it starts doing this kind of thing, it looks a bit messy. So I just connect it into these parts like that. Now if we come to the kind of inside part of the ship towards the actual hangar deck, not hangar deck, the flight deck itself, let's leave 1 block. We're going to cut out here. We have this. Then we're going to go up by 10 nether brick fence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then 1's going to go towards the back of the ship, like that, and that finishes off the first funnel. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put in this small boat, and we're also going to put in this gun here, and then we'll keep on moving towards the ship, but we're getting there on this kind of island section. Okay, so for the first boat, what you're going to do is, where you've got these kind of 2 sets of 5 here, it's going to come on the inside of each of these, so it's got a 3 block gap in between, so it's just on the inside. Build that up to a 2. Then come diagonally back like this. Then on the inside here you're going to have 2, and then a diagonal back like this. These are exactly the same as the ones that are inside the hull down here, so they're set up exactly the same. So again, choose what kind of colour you've made it out of. I've used yellow wool. Just have them on top of this part like this. And then underneath what you're going to have is either some sort of slabs of any kind really. And then just to finish off this part, what we're going to do is with nether brick fences, just bring them across on these parts as if it's actually connected in to these side parts like that. And then we're just going to build the kind of part that comes out just for the gun. So what you got is you're going to leave a 3 block gap. You have 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So again, this is on the inside lining up with this door here. Just build this up to a height of 2. And also build it going right into the main section itself. On this part I actually cut out doors. I think it was on this section here. So you've got a couple of doors going in, but you could actually make them double. It might look better if you have it on double. Then what you're going to do is you're just going to come around and basically outline it just with some other type, with your main hull colour itself. Just going to outline it, and then you can fill in the deck itself with your grey wall as we've been doing before. And now what we're going to do is you're just going to add an extra layer on top of these ones as the kind of guard itself. So then you get this kind of quite large section around here where you can actually look over the ship and everything. So you got that. And then we're just going to build another one of those phalanx guns like we have on the front and also on the kind of side bit. So all you're going to do is come onto the inside and find the centre of it, put in a yellow piece of wool, and again we're going to go around it doing a diameter 5 circle. So it's got 3 and then 3 and 3. It should just about fit. And then you're going to just do a kind of 3x3 square of your deck colour, just like this. Then you're going to make a cross pattern and build it up by a height of 2. You have a white piece of wool coming over the top,
And then what you're going to need is black wool. So I'm just going to find some black wool. There we go. And just cut out this one, and you just come forwards by one block like that. So it's a really simple design. And then with your ladder to get down to this part, I just put it in here, just one block away from this part here. So you've actually got a ladder that goes onto the kind of main part of the tower itself. And also what you can do is you can grab your iron bars, and just between these sections there's just iron bars on this. It's just kind of like a railing. And this gets brought all the way back to where we've got that stair going up onto the deck. Just there. So now we'll get on to the next part. And now what we're going to do is we're going to build some sort of like transformer type thing. So we've got two pieces of grey wool. It's going to be one away from this wall. So you've got two pieces of grey wool on the side, and it's actually 3 wide. So you've got 2 here, 1 here, and then 2 on the side. And it's going to be 4 going this way. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like this. And just fill in the top part here and the 2 sides. So it's kind of like a stretched out cross. And all I did for this part to finish it off was put iron bars in these corners. You could, if you wanted to, change it up, put in your nether brick fence if you want to, but that just creates that kind of transformer type thing on the deck. And now what we're going to do is we're going to build up this main antenna itself. So you're going to leave a 2 block gap here. I'm going to have 5, so it's going to have 1 block kind of on each side. It's going to be 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So count that block as a 5. It's just a 5 by 5 square. Build it up to a height of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just build this all up to a height of 5, and I'll tell you what to do next. And then after you've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to do a diameter 5 circle. So you're just coming in, just leaving 1 block on each side. This will also be a height of 5. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Build this all up, and I'll tell you what to do next. And then what you're going to do, there's just 2 extra bits here. So if you come onto the inside where you've got this gun, you're just going to add 3 blocks here and 3 blocks here. So this actually cuts off the kind of walk around parts. So what you're going to do is here you're going to add 6 blocks. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you can switch those 4 out for grey wool, and you can also just bring your iron bars around this section just to this point here for the time being. So now you can actually walk around this side of the main antenna as well as, of course, the other side as well. And then on each side of this actual antenna itself, you're just going to add 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like this. And you're going to add 2 in the middle, and you're going to create this kind of step pattern, and you're just going to add 2 on each side like that. So just kind of supporting it itself. Same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, and then create a step pattern. You can just do 2 on each side like that. We can also, there's actually a ladder going onto the deck here, so we can add it just right on the side, so it's right next to this fence part we've done here, so you can put the ladder in there. And then on this side what you're going to do is you're going to add 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is also where a ladder goes up, just like this, and there's 2 pieces of grey wool on this side like that. So I need to take off this one. That's where the second one is, so you've actually got it going onto this part. You can either have that bit as your grey wool, iron blocks, or whatever. Then what we're going to do is just going to come around the sides of it, just going to create this kind of place where we can put a rail. And this part here has 2 extra blocks on it. And then you're just going to put iron bars on that part like that, so you've got a way to get up onto this part of it itself. It's just a kind of minor detail. You can take it off if you want to. And now we're going to get on to the next bit. Okay, and then the next bit is going to be in your black wool. Again, I'm going to use quartz so it shows up. You're just going to come in on the inside and just do a 3 by 3 square like this. It'll go up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once you've done that, you're going to create a cross pattern. And then this will go up by 5. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then right in the middle, you're going to go up by 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like that. Now we're going to do a couple of the side parts, and there's also this top bit as well. And then on this kind of 3 by 3, what we're going to do is going to add 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm guessing on this part I really liked 5s because it pretty much goes up by 5 high on each time. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. And come in 1 block on each side. You're going to put down your nether brick fence, and we're going to create those sensors that I've been making again. So this is white wool, just in case you get confused between my quartz blocks and my white wool blocks. These are actually white wool, and they're built in exactly the same way. So you just place a block, make a cross, and then place a block on the top. So that's what it should look like there. So you've got the black, and then you've got these 2 sensor parts like this. What we can also add while we're here is if you just get your iron bars, and you're just going to finish off this part just by putting iron bars around the sides of it. So it's pretty simple. Like that, and we've only got a little bit more to do to finish off this main antenna.
And then with your nether brick fence, we're going to come to this kind of one thick one. We're going to go to the middle. We're going to add 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom. Same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the top and on the bottom of that part. Then on the top of this, just add an extra 2 blocks, but leave one of these blocks and you're just going to make a square around it like this. Grab your nether brick fence. You're just going to wrap some nether brick fence around on these parts like this. So you've got one connected into that block and then it's connected in here. Grab your iron bars and come out 5 on the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just an extra kind of antenna part. Same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just like that, and then get your nether brick fence and add 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then come back 1 like that, and that finishes off the main antenna. I'll show you what it should look like in black, because it looks very strange to me in white. So there we go. So we have this here. So I just noticed that I've actually got one of them slightly different to how I've got my actual build. These iron bars here should actually be brought onto this block and go out 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's up to you if you want to keep them where they are, or here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5. Like that. So now we're going to move on to the next part. We'll probably put in just the basis for the smokestack, and then do these boats and those kind of things. And we're nearly onto the bridge section itself. So let's do this. Okay, for the next section, what we're going to do is we're going to leave 2 block gap here, and then you're just going to bring this one right to the edge here, and it's only going to be, it's going to actually have a 2 block gap here, and it's going to be going back by 6. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you're going to come out, so you've only got 1 block gap. This will be 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just bring this straight across like this, just to connect up like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to build this up to a total height of 3. So you got 1, 2, and 3. So build all of that up to a height of 3, and I'll tell you what to do next. And then once you've done that, what you're going to do is you're going to come to this side and just going to add 7 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 like that. And then on this side, what you're going to do is where you've got this, where it kind of comes out, you're going to add a block. This will be 5 going this side. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And just connect an extra block on there. And then what you can do is with your grey walls, you're just going to fill in this flooring here, and where you've got these extra blocks, just take them out. Just make sure that you've got enough of a run so that when you do put on your iron bars going around, that they can actually wrap around onto those iron bars, onto those bits that we put down. So just fill in this floor for the time being. So what you're going to do is from this part here, you're going to count 7. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And cut out this part here. Now what you're going to do is you're going to replace these 2 with grey pieces of wool, and get your stone stairs, and you're going to bring them down this way this time. So it's going in the opposite direction than we did last time, and it's built in exactly the same way. So these parts, it's going to be like this, and you're just going to go on the outsides of these. Like that. And if you want to, you can put in and cover up the blocks like that, and then add in your iron bars as a kind of railing. So there's your other set of stairs that goes into this very, very small room. But there we go, so we have that now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to build another one of these boats. It's exactly the same way. We're just going to leave a 5 block gap. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start 6 block, go up by 2. Leave a 3 block gap, go up by 2. You have your diagonals like this, and then on the right next to the actual hull, this part is going to go up just like this, and in exactly the same way. Just going to build them exactly the same. So choose whatever type of wall you want for these small boats, right across, and then whatever slabs you've got, just fill in the floor with them. And just to finish it off, I'm just going to add in a couple of bits of nether brick fence to connect it on to the towers itself. And then just to finish off this section, we just need to put in 2 iron bars like that. And then right in the middle of this part here, we're just going to place a block with nether brick fence. We're just going to go up by 2, actually go up by 3, and then just on each of these sides, just add kind of like a cross pattern. Fill with them. It's just another kind of sensor type thing. And on this part here, we can actually add in our ladder to go up like that. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to do the kind of bigger out of the 2 smokestacks. So on the back you can have 3, 1, 2, 3. Now you can have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 1 and 1. Just like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to build it up to a height of 7 in total. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do that on all of these walls here. Okay, and then once you've done that, we're just going to finish off going around the outside. So you're just going to bring in your iron bars just around this part here, Just wraps around in here. And again, you can go all the way around if you want to, or you can do exactly the same as we've done with the smokestack here. And then again, we're just going to build up the last layer just by one extra block, and these 4 goes up by 1 more. And yeah, again, these smokestacks are built in exactly the same way. So you're going to be using black wool, I'm going to be using the quartz. So let's come on top, just on a lower level, like this, and then on the higher level it'll just be 1 block higher. Just like that, and then you're going to create a cross pattern here, build up to a height of 2, and put your iron blocks on the top. And here what you can do is you can do exactly the same, and it'll be the same height again. So these ones are going to be built up by 3, and then you're going to have your iron blocks on top. And then just to finish it off, what we're going to do is we're going to put another brick fence in these tiny gaps here, and then add 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and add a 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, and a 1. So it's really, really easy. They're built in exactly the same way, pretty much, just this one's slightly bigger. So that finishes off that smokestack now. So we're really getting there now. I'm just going to go through this like kind of manual gun here, and we're also going to do this, the actual crane itself. I'm going to build that as well, and then we're going to get onto the main bridge, which is actually pretty big as well. So when you actually do go inside, you've got plenty of room. I still haven't put in a ceiling, but I've given you an extra block. Actually, when I was building this, I actually made it an extra block so that you can put in lighting, as well as having free high. So it's got quite a lot of space, and you can see I've started to kind of put a lot of stuff around it. But let's get onto it. Okay, so this is going to be just for the manual gun on here. So what you can do is you're going to come back down onto where you've just built this smokestack here. Just come down by 1 block. And it's on the same level as this one. You're just going to go 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to come across the front by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4. So then all you're going to do is just come. Oh fuck! I don't even know. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to come on the inside. So you're going to be just on the inside of this, and you're just going to build up just on the inside part of it. I just built up on these 2 sides and kept like a 2 block kind of gap going across. So it's just on the inside part of this. So we just get that for now. So it is just 1 block short of this. You could, if you wanted to, bring it all the way up to this part here. And then what you can do is you can fill in this floor with your grey wool, like that. And I put in my ladder just here. And you have your iron bar there. And then again with iron bars you can actually bring these all the way back in the middle of these sections, just until you hit into this big bit, so that then you've got another guardrail for this part here, without falling onto the actual floor. So then what you need to do is you just build like a small guardrail here for the actual gun. And on my one I actually just used very basic, you know, a couple of nether brick fences coming forwards by about 3 or so. I'm going to show you my kind of new preferred way, so because it is an old design. So all you need to do is put a fence down and then just come forwards maybe with 2 fence gates. I think that looks more like a gun. And I think so. Then you've got this gun here, the actual manned gun. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the crane. Okay, and then for the crane itself, what you're going to do is you're going to come to the front where you've got this part. You're going to leave 3 of these blocks. So you're going to leave 3 of these ones. They just come across like this, and it's going to be 5. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're actually going to cut this one out here. This is the way to get up. Just build this up to a height of 2 in total. And then what you're going to do is on top of this you're going to have 6. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it just sticks over by 1. And again you can build this part here, making sure that there's a 1 block gap. Just like that. And then 1 block coming in, you're going to go 10. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then what you're going to do is, adding onto this, you're going to go up 1 block and it's going to be 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Across here, 2, 3, 4. These 2 are connected on these parts. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come down. You're going to have 3, 1, 2, 3. And there's going to be 1 right at the end like this. That's the same on the other side, like that. Now you're going to come under on this part. It's going to put in 3 of them into that part like that. Now if we come back to the main body, what you're going to do is there's going to be just a block here. So you're going to have, this one's going to be like kind of empty, and then you're going to have 1 there as well. So you've got one there. So you've got 4 of these, and you've got this part being connected, then a 1 block gap here. You've got these, then you're just going to put in this part grey wool. I switched this entire back bit here out for grey wool. This is where I actually put up my ladder to go into it. And then what you're going to do is here, you're going to build it by 3. Just on each side, it's just coming in by 1 on each side, like that. Then you have 2 pieces of glass here, 2 pieces at the front as well, and then just one piece of grey wool or whatever on the sides, just here. I'm just going to cover up this top part like that to create the actual cab itself, so that you've got a way to get up into it. You've actually got the cab here itself, which is quite cool. Then with your iron bars, just put them on these 2 sides as a kind of railing, and we'll just put in a couple extra details on this. And again, you can either use nether brick fence or normal fence, so you're just going to come into that hole, comes up, and this is just going to go all the way across until you hit into this part. You're just going to have 4 on top, just going over the middle part of it. And then this part's just going to go until you reach the end right there. So that finishes off that back crane that we've got there. So now all we have to do is, well, we'll do this small sensor type thing at the front, and then we've just got to do the bridge section. Okay, so for the sensor itself, what we're going to do is we're just going to have another diameter 5 circle like this. So you've got your 3, 3, 3, 3, and then build this up to a total height of 3. And then once you've done that, you're going to come in, just create a 3 by 3 square, and put a cross section on the top of it. This is how I did it on the other one. My newer builds, what I've started doing is just adding an extra block on these parts. It makes it look a little bit smoother and gets rid of those harder edges. So that's my kind of updated version compared to the old version, which would have looked like this without taking out all the blocks. But that's what the old version would look like, which I think looks a bit boring, so this does add to it. So you can do it either way. And now we're just going to set up the bridge. Okay, so setting up for the bridge, what we're going to do is we're going to leave a 5 block gap here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's going to come across. There's only going to be the 1 block on this side that you can actually walk around. This part kind of gets closed off now. And just bring this all the way back until you get into this part here. And then you're going to build this up to a total height of 7. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to come across this front part as well. But you're still going to leave this block gap here, and you can also put in a block there as well just to finish off that part. So this will be a 7, and then you're just going to basically bring this all around, build it all up to a height of 7, and I'll get back to you for the next section. And before we forget, I'm actually just going to put around a couple more iron bars. So where we've got this section here, we're just going to connect them around until you hit into the actual crane itself. And again, you could either leave this part here or you can just attach it across. I'm just going to attach it across. I think it actually looks better now that I've done it this kind of built it the second time. And also you're going to have a couple here. And just on the front kind of sensor part, you also just need to come around and wrap some of these iron bars around it like this. And then all I did on the front part, just to finish it off as well, is just I added some more nether brick fence like we did on the back part, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to come on the inside of this and we're going to leave a 3 block gap. I'm just going to put in another floor. So most of it I've tried to give like a 4 block gap so that you've actually got kind of room to have a 3 block walk and also the lighting in as well, but some of them in the tower, when I did stretch it, it didn't look quite right. So just fill this floor and I'll tell you what to do next. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to add a couple of the windows in for this kind of lower bridge section. We haven't built the top bit yet, so what we're going to do is from the front, it's quite difficult now we've got the sensor in, but count up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 5th block, so 1 from the top. It's going to cut out these first kind of like 5 windows. So you've got a slight window here, you can hardly see anything at all from here, but there are bits that we need to build now which kind of jut out the sides. Okay, so for the first bit that kind of juts out on this kind of bottom bridge, what we're going to do is, I'm just going to do it with glass first, it might be easier, so it's on the same level as this glass. Going to leave this 1 block, then we have 2 glass here. It's going to come out with 2 glass, and then come out with 2 glass. It's got 2 that connects it back in, and underneath this there's going to be 2 bits of your whole colour. So whatever that is, light grey wool or iron blocks, so we're just going to do this. So you get that kind of basic part, and then from the inside you can actually cut out this wool into it, and then switch out this floor as well for the grey wall. So you then get this part where you can actually look out, just like that. And you can also, just on the top, switch out these parts and just put that kind of wall on top. And when we come underneath, what we're going to do is we're just going to cover up these blocks like this, and then on this part you can put an extra couple blocks there. It's really up to you what you want to do with it. Okay, so it's exactly the same for, on this side, this same wing. So you've got a 1 block gap, you've got a 2 piece of glass, and you've got another 2, and you come in for 2, and then build 2 pieces of iron blocks underneath, exactly the same as we did on the other side. And then all you're going to do is just cut through again, put in the floor again. So you're just going to switch these ones out, just like that, and then put them on top as well, like this. And that is almost done. We just need to cover up the bottom parts as well. So this time you can't actually put in extra blocks here, because otherwise you can't walk around, so you just have to have this, which is fine. Which is probably why I think on my one I've actually got these two actually off. It's just like that. So it's up to you which way you want to do. So now we're going to keep on building up. So this is the kind of lower bridge section that has slight kind of looking over that part. It might actually be the like flight control part of it, as it's got this kind of jutting out part. So now we've just built this under bit here. So now we're going to build the really big bridge section. So there's just a bit more setting up we need to do for the actual bridge itself. So come to the back of it and then count 4 of these blocks. Then on the 5th one, you're just going to come out by 3. It should connect in line with this. This is just going to be the bit that actually covers up the flooring for part of the bridge, I think it is. Same on the other side, so you got these 4 blocks. Come out by 3. Just join these in like this. And then at the front, you're just going to add 7 blocks. Just like that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to come to the front, and what you're going to do is just come forwards, out diagonally, just come across this. This will be 6 high in total, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Just fill it in solid for now, and I'll tell you where to actually cut out the windows, kind of when we're actually done, or mostly done with it. So then you'll just have this for now, and then what you're going to do is you're going to come out to the side. I'm just going to do the basic kind of part of it. All of it's built up to 6, so you've just got 2. It's just kind of outlining. You got a 2, a 2, and then this one is going to go 1 past this last layer here, and then it just comes across all the way across the back to this other layer here, just like this. And then just basically outlining like that. Build all of those ones up to 6 in total. So build all of these up to the same height as we've got this front one, and then what you can do is you can fill in this floor with grey wool as well. So this will just be the actual decking for it, which gives a 3 block gap for this lower part. I don't know why there's 2 extra blocks there. So you get this kind of decking for these parts. I don't know why I keep on finding more blocks, but yeah, just fill this floor in, and then we're going to be able to get onto the next section. And then once you've got this kind of shape built up, what you're going to do is around this one, you're now going to fill in the actual kind of top deck of this, and then I'm going to cut out the windows. So just fill this completely in solid, and I'll show you where to cut out the windows. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to find the middle of them. So you're going to have 2 blocks on the top and also on the bottom. I'm just going to cut out these like this. So you've got 2 lots of glass, and then you're just going to leave this outside. All of these kind of middle sections of this part, or the actual 2s going out, all of those parts are actually glass. Then you're going to leave a 1. You have 3, right, 2 box here. Leave 1. You have your 3 by 2 again. And it's exactly the same on the other side as well, so I'll just go through that quickly. So you're just going to cut through the middle of these ones, put in your glass, just like this, and then leave one of these. Then you got a 3 by 2 box, and then another 3 by 2 box. Put in your glass on this bit, just like that. Don't worry about this back part. There's actually an antenna and stuff that we're going to do now actually, so let's do this. Okay, so now we're just going to work on this back antenna part here, and there's also 2 kind of walkways on different levels. It's a bit confusing, this back part, or at least it is for me looking at it and trying to figure it out. So what we're going to do is you're just going to add in a 3 by 3 box kind of right to the edge here, and then you're going to do a cross pattern. It'll be 3 high in total. Just like this. This will just be the basis where everything kind of works around it. And then all you need to do on this part is just put in a slight floor here, and you're going to cut this one out. And if you wanted to, you can actually put in stone stair going this way, and cut into the actual kind of the main bridge section itself, so they can also take this one out here. If you wanted to, you could put a stone slab in there instead. It's really up to you. And then just put in some iron bars around here. So it's a really short kind of, just a short kind of lookout from the bridge to the back kind of section. There is one on the other side, which we're going to do now. So for the other side, what we're going to do is, instead of the door being on this part here, it's actually just going to be 1 block over. And then just put in your grey piece of wool here and add an extra 2 grey pieces of wool. Then on this part, you're going to have a stair here and a stair here, just for the time being. You can also put in an iron block here and 2 iron blocks on the side. And then what you need to do is just put an iron block on each of these side parts like this. And then with your grey wool, just come underneath, and you're just going to go forwards by 2. It's a pretty small box, it's just going to be like this kind of box, and then you're just going to go around it with your iron block like this. Then get your iron bars, you're just going to wrap them around. Even underneath here as well, you could actually just replace that one with a 4 block if you wanted to, it's really up to you. And all I did is just put iron bars going across this part as well. So you've just got this kind of walk into here. You could also switch this one out if you wanted to for a grey piece of wool. And you got a kind of look over on the actual flight deck itself, which is quite cool. So you've got those 2 kind of little places there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to build up the back antenna, and there's a couple of things on the top of the actual bridge itself, where there's actually this other place here where the actual navigator and captain actually navigate from here, because sometimes it's a better view than from the bridge itself, which is quite interesting. So we're just going to build this, including this kind of my early version of a radar system, which I'll still go through, but we'll just finish up doing this back antenna and then this, and then we're pretty much done. We've just got to go back inside, and I just remembered I need to show you guys how to do the elevators from the inside. Okay, so for the back antenna, what you're going to do is the back 2 blocks are actually going to go up, and they go up by 7 in total. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Same on the other side. Then you're going to use black wool. Again, I'm going to use quartz, it shows up a lot better. You're just going to have 1 on this part here, then you're going to go up by 6 on the back. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, just like that. And then with your nether brick fence, just add 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 goes backwards, just like this. And on the side, add 3. 1, 2, 3. Then bend one of them towards the back of the ship. Same on the other side. 1, 2, 3. Bend 1 towards the back of the ship. And then on the back part, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then add 1 onto the top part. This is just to try to change things up a bit. It's a bit weird. Then on the front, 1, 2, 3, and this time go downwards. So that's just kind of weird idea for it. I'm not that keen on it now that I've just looked at it again. So you might just want to make it really simple and just have, you know, take those bits off, and then on the side bits just go up and under. This might look a little bit better, I'm not too sure really, and maybe cut off some of the back bits themselves. Yeah, I'm not too sure on what to do with this now that I've kind of looked at it, but there's just a couple ideas. You can always just mess around with this bit quite a lot. But that does finish off that antenna, so now what we're going to do is, on top of the bridge, we're just going to add in a couple of blocks around here, just like this. And then we're just going to go around the outside with iron bars again. So go around the outside and I'll tell you what to do next. And if you're wondering how to get up onto this part, if you want to put in a trapdoor, find where your antenna is and right at the back. Put a trapdoor on this part here, and then I ran a ladder up as far as I can just to get into this top section. Just like that. And then just for the kind of like forward viewing part, what I did is I had 3 blocks here and then just 2 on each side. So it's kind of like a part of a circle in a way, just like that. And then what you're going to do for the actual radar itself, you're just going to leave 2 of these blocks. You're going to create a 3x3 square, build up to the height of 4. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. And once you've done that, you're just going to have a cross pattern that's just going to go up by 2 in total. just like this. Then in the middle add 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then just on 3 of them, you're going to leave this one block here. You're just going to go make a 3 by 3 square. Then on each side, you're going to come forwards, just like this. Actually making the antenna itself. Grab your iron bars. These just go in these 2 gaps on these sides here, like this. And then grab your nether brick fence and come out the back of it. And just have a couple kind of connecting onto the back side of it as if it's wiring. And that pretty much finishes off the bridge. There is some kind of just like antenna junk type stuff which is just roughly placed, but I'll just go through a couple bits anyway. So you could put one, say here, with the white piece of wall on it, and I think I put another one back here, which is one of those bigger ones with the cross pattern. Another thing you can do, now that we have, I think I built this one before I had cobblestone wall. But what you can do as well is just put a couple blocks around, just with a couple bits of nether brick fence or something, or just put a couple blocks of nether brick fence with just some bits coming out the side of it. That sometimes looks good on the top of kind of things where you don't really know what to put on it. So I don't really want that there because that's in line, so there we go. So you can just put some kind of junk on the top of it to make it look a little bit more like it's been used. So then we've got that. So now we've actually finished off all of this section. The only bit we need to do is the inside section. Actually, I lied. There is one bit more I just remembered I forgot to do. So where you've got this extension here, we're just going to cover up this. So what you're going to do is just make a step pattern. Just like that. So you're just going to build a step pattern just to cover up those blocks and make it look like it's supported properly. I almost completely forgot about it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go inside and we're going to build just one of these ideas for the actual how the actual lift system works. So let's do that. Okay, so this is what I did on the inside of mine, just to actually get the actual lift system. I actually cut down into the lower deck and created this system. I'm going to go through it with you now, just one of them. If you did want one of them lowered as well, you could just lower it down. But it's pretty easy. So I'm just going to go through that now. If you don't want this, then don't, you're done with the tutorial, so well done. But if you want to learn how to do this one, then I'll show you how to do it now. Okay, so just pick one of the kind of inside parts. You guys will probably need to light it. I've got single player command, so I'm able to actually light it pretty easily. So you can kind of find the actual circles pretty easily. I can see the one down there as well. What you're going to do with your hole color is you're just going to cover up around the edge of this. This is if the elevator is up. If it's down, all you need to do is basically pull this part of the deck down, down to here or whatever. But I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to show you that, as this video length is probably long enough already. So you're just going to cover up this like that. Then come on the inside, and it's going to be 2 down. You're just going to basically be tracing on the inside like this. So do that, just tracing on the inside on all of this part, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, and then once you've done that, what you're going to do is you're going to create the kind of braces that go across. So you're just going to come on the inside of it and leave one block and then come across like this, and it goes on every other one just like this, and it'll work out exactly right. As I think this is probably the 4th time that I've gone through designing this before I got the final product, so that actually did work out perfectly fine. So just keep on going across with this, and now we'll get on to the next part. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cut into the deck down here. So what you need to do is if you bring down just some sort of blocks so that you know where you're actually cutting into this deck. So I should have probably done it from the outsides like this. So I'm just going to cut into these bits. You're going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. And then a 1. I'm just going to cut around these parts. You're basically just tracing what you've done before, just on this bit here, and then 9. And then you can just cut out this middle section completely, and you can get rid of your guides as well. As this is the actual section where if it was going to come down, it would come down right to this point. So what you need to do is just cut out this entire middle section, and I'll get back to you. And then once you've cut out that section, you can either use red and yellow wool, or you can use I think the new Royal Navy colours that they've been using at least is yellow and black, at least from what I've seen on the new Queen Elizabeth. So you can do it in that colour, or you can do it in the red and yellow, it's up to you. And then all you can do is just replace this outside part with alternating colours of like whatever kind of stripes you want to have. Go around the entire outside of that, and I'll show you what to do next. And then once you've done your striping, what you're going to do is you're going to come down here and you're going to add 3 blocks. So you go 1, 2, 3, and then just go around the entire outside with this. Okay, then you should have this, so you're just going to run the outside, then you're going to build a floor for this part itself. So if you're doing like I do, which is, I always try to get 3 high kind of ceilings, because it feels a lot better than the 2, because the 2 kind of block, even though it's the, your minimum, it does feel a bit cramped. So then just fill in this floor here, and I'll get back to you. And then once you've filled in that, you've then got the gap. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the middle of this kind of section, and where you've got the first kind of ribbing part, you can bring this all the way down, right down to the bottom like this, and just create a kind of square around it like that. And you'll do the same on the other side. So find the middle, find this part here, go down, just like this, and then build your box around it. And then you're going to find the middle again, which is the middle of all of the bits. There's going to be 3 of these kind of hydraulic things, so you've actually got a 4 block gap here, which then when you put the square in becomes a 3 block gap between those 2 parts. And then you're just going to make a cross on each of these parts here like this. Just build a cross pattern around all of the bases of these parts for the lift system. I'm pretty sure this isn't how the lift system looks, but it just kind of looked quite cool in Minecraft. So then what you're going to do is come down and leave a block gap here. You're just going to go around and make a cross around one of these. I'll just show you how to do one of them. And then you're just going to join it in, and it should join into the ribbing itself like that. So then just copy that to all of those. If you want to do the other one as well, you could just watch this video again, and I'll be going through step by step. I'll just show you the end product of this itself. So that's what it should look like when it's finished. And this one I've got red and yellow wool, and I've got my other one down there as well. And just around the outside, all I've done is just put this kind of layer here. I haven't really done anything on the interior, but that's it for the Invincible-Class aircraft carrier. So well done, guys. So well done on completing the Invincible-Class aircraft carrier. This one was a really big build. It was a really challenge for me to actually get through the tutorial. I'm sure it's going to be quite a long video, but it is a really cool build. It was one of my first kind of early ships as well, so you kind of get to see how much has changed, but it's still quite cool. It's still got lots and lots of character on it. So well done on completing it, and I will see you guys on the next mega tutorial.